Alrighty guys, I'm in the chat. Let me start this race. I'll be with you in a little bit. This is pole qualifying, and I'll get you started with that.
Four guys have won 2 poles. There have been 5 first-time pole winners this year in 1997. Our latest pole winner, of course, last week at Michigan when Johnny Benson picked up a pole in the Pennzoil Pontiac. How do they qualify? Well, the top 25 will be set in this session. They get 2 laps. Tracks of under a mile. You get 2 consecutive laps of qualifying. Tomorrow, round 2, spot 26 through 38. 4 provisional starters versed by 97 owner points and 1 possible past champion starting spot. Qualifying record set 2 years ago here in August. Mark Martin, 15.339 seconds. And the unit count challenge to sit on the pole and win the race, a cool $83,600. That's why qualifying is important for one of many reasons here tonight as we check in on the grid with Bill Weber.
And winning is important, too. And Geoff Gordon talking to his wife, Brooke, you've won here 3 times, and clearly one of the cars to beat here in qualifying for the pole.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised myself. We're running pretty good today, and I hope we can hang on to it. The car's really strong and made some great runs. I think we're going to have to pick it up a little bit, though. We're one of the early cars out. I'd imagine some guys in the back didn't show all they had in practice, and I think we're going to have to run it at least the low 40s, 1540s to sit on the pole today.
And Ned and Jerry were just explaining why it's so important to start up front, because there's nowhere to pass here.
Well, we've been pretty fortunate to start up front here, and I think that's what contributes to some good finishes here. And Ray and I have been watching the tapes from this night race, and you got to start up front. I mean, you got to stay out of trouble, and the way to do that, the best way to do that is to be up front. So qualifying is very important here.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Geoff Gordon, fastest in practice, BP.
Hey, Corky, just get a 1 shot. I can't get too close to this guy. This guy, Brett, your luck is awful.
It's just terrible. You know, this morning, Phil and I were standing here, brother Phil and I were standing here talking about how bad our luck's been lately, and both of us tore up race cars in practice. Just a bad day for us here.
Y'all, you okay?
Yeah, we had a good car, too. That's a shame we tore that car up. It'd been about 14th, 15th fastest all day, and now we've got a backup car that hasn't even seen the racetrack yet, so qualifying lap isn't going to be too sporty. We're just getting ready for second round qualifying tomorrow.
What happened?
Driver just got in the corner too deep, left his foot on the accelerator too long.
Where's the crew chief? We need to hit you in the head with a hammer or something.
Yeah, I know it. That just, it's a real shame. I rarely make a mistake like that, and today I did it. And I got in there too deep. The car turned around on me, and it backed in the fence.
Okay, Jerry.
All right, our schedule coming up tonight following Busch Pole qualifying at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Our live flag-to-flag coverage, NASCAR, Busch Series, Food City 250, LaJoy, and a guy named Dale.
Hi guys, I'm in the chat, and that's the real Darryl Earnhardt. This is the race, I believe, that we had changes in the car number 7 for the crew chief position and stuff like that, and with those changes I ended up scoring the race after this one in real life. I'll be back shortly.
Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt, and he takes the white flag. Ned Jarrett completing the first of 2 consecutive laps.
Well, Geoff Gordon said he thought he would take somewhere in the low 40s. That's 1540 hundredths of a second. Earnhardt somewhere in the high 70s or 90s. Here 15.794 on his first lap. His second lap about the same, maybe just a little bit slower. Don't know that we have seen in Busch qualifying here a little bit earlier. Didn't see a great deal of difference in first or second lap. It didn't have a great deal to do with tires or anything like that. Just the approach that they made in and off the turns.
Yeah, his second lap slower, 15.837. Let's check in with Bill.
Rusty Wallace is a 6-time winner here, being pushed into the line, putting on his gloves. Rusty, a lot of success here. How's your car?
Car's real good. It's been real good all day, so I hope I get the pole. It's running great.
He's very optimistic. Was second fastest in the first 2-hour practice session this morning behind Gordon.
Rusty Wallace won this race a year ago. Last August, this guy right here sat on the outside front row. Back here in April, see if he can do it again.
Well, I think they beat Dale Earnhardt on the first lap.
Kodak Chevrolet driver Sterling Marlin would love to win one here in front of the Tennessee fans.
And quick lap on his first lap, and faster yet on the second lap.
We told you it's quick here, folks. The second lap indeed, Ned, even quicker.
122.552 miles an hour, 15.657 seconds. That still doesn't approach what Jeff Gordon thought it might take to win the pole.
All right, the Mac Tonight Thunderbird. New colors for Bill Elliott. 5 times this year he'll run the new Mac Tonight color, sort of the Mac Tonight, the sunglass-wearing moon crooner who plays jazz on the piano, backed by a Neon City Nightscape as he goes out to qualify, and we check in with Benny Parsons.
That is my favorite paint of all time right there. When I saw it in person, it was bigger than life.
I don't know, man. I tell you what, that son of yours, you know, ran so good in Michigan, and folks, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the outside pole of the Busch race we got coming up. He is really turning it up.
Well, he is, but I need to turn it up too. Daggone, we need to be on the front straightaway pits. It don't look like that every year.
All right, Bill Elliott, third quickest, 15.803 seconds. His first lap was quicker.
Trying to
than
find
two.
my eyeglasses.
He is third quickest right now. It is Marlon
I'll be
Earnhardt.
right with you.
This guy right here, Ned Jarrett, is fastest in both practice sections here today.
Yes, they had a 2-hour practice session from what, 12 to 2, and then from 3 to 4, and he was fastest in both of those sessions of practice.
Gordon, a 3-time winner at Bristol, Tennessee, but has never won in the night race here in August.
There are the practice runs earlier here today. 123.150 for Gordon. See Rusty Wallace, the second fastest. Kenny Wallace up yet. And he's currently on the pole with that first lap, Gary.
15.616 seconds, 122.874 miles an hour, and Gordon backs up to practice with the rainbow efforts in the DuPont Chevrolet. Second lap is a little bit slow.
A little bit slower for his second lap. 15.683. Let's go to the pits and Benny with Sterling Marlin.
Well, I was going to interview the pole sitter, but guess what?
I figured it was going to happen. Jeff's been running good, and he's had us about a 10th all day, and that's fast we run all day. And he might have slowed down a little bit. So we closed the gap up, but we didn't close up enough.
Can he be beat?
6 car, he's off tough here. He sits on a lot of poles, and Rusty sat on the pole this spring. So if we wind up top 5, hopefully we'll be okay.
All right. The pole. Rusty Wallace, what did he do that first lap, guys?
All right, Rusty coming by. In practice, Benny, Rusty ran a 61, which is exactly what Gordon ran to put himself on the pole, and then a little bit slower than his practice lap.
Yeah, 15.704, just very close. He shut it down, didn't take his second lap, so apparently got into turn 1, didn't like what he felt there, and decided there was no point in taking any chance going around. Wasn't going to be better than the first lap, so he's third fastest at the moment.
Okay, that is RP, the car he won with at Richmond. They named RP after Roger Penske, and Robin Pemberton, the crew chief. Rusty currently is third quickest behind Jeff Gordon, Sterling Marlin, and of course Rusty, Earnhardt, and Bill Elliott. Let's check in again with Benny.
Hey, champ, how was it?
Well, let me eat my words. I don't think you're going to get in the low 40s. If somebody does, I'm going to be a long ways back.
Oh, okay. Everybody got a shovel. He wants to eat those words.
Man, I tell you, I got loose. I got real loose. And I'm a little disappointed in that run right now. But who knows? You know, this track, you know, does some different things. It might be the same for everybody. We'll see what happens.
Okay, Jim.
All right, Ricky Rudd's tied, Rod. You saw that graphic a moment ago, out of the top 10 in the points for the first time in a long, long time, on the strength of, or actually 40th and 29th place finishes the last 2 times out. First lap for Rudd, 15.903 seconds, 120.656 miles an hour, puts him 6th of the 6 cars that have qualified. And the first laps have been the quicker of the 2, Ned.
Yes, they have, and that might be a pattern here in Winston Cup cars. A little bit faster on the second one for Ricky Rudd, just 0.02 of a second.
All right, 6 of 45 cars have qualified. Back with more from Thunder Valley in a moment. Back in Bristol, Tennessee, the low Chevrolet for Mike Skinner qualifying. His first lap quicker than 15.790 seconds. The second lap was slow, 16.017 seconds. That puts him right now 4th overall of the 7 cars that have qualified.
And we have now is Dick Trickle, the Holly Myers Ford, number 90.
Spot 7, upper left of your screen. Once again, remember there are 45 cars here to attempt qualifying. We will take the top 25 in this first round.
Dick Trickle started himself a pretty good lap on this first one here, Gary. 15.777 seconds. That's turned the 4th fastest. And he's faster on his second lap. He's out not far from Geoff Gordon, according to my unofficial stopwatch here.
He qualified 5th for the Busch race later tonight. And the Dennis Shoemaker car, we'll see second lap on Dick Trickle, was quicker.
15.634 seconds, 122.733 makes him second fastest at the moment.
How about that for Dick Trickle, the Holly Myers Ford? We check in with Bill.
With Derek Cope and a lot of smiles around this crew, your car's pretty good, DC.
Well, we'd like to think so. You know, you still got to do it right now. But, got a lot of the Skittles folks here, so hopefully let's, you know, get a good qualifying effort and get some practice time in for tomorrow.
Derek Cope in the top 10 in this morning's practice.
And here's a guy, Bill, who's in the top 5 in both sessions, Texan Terry Labonte, the Kellogg Chevrolet. 2 NASCAR Winston Cup victories here in Bristol, Tennessee, both of which have come in the Goodies 500 August event. He won in '84 in a Chevrolet, in 1995, also in a Chevy.
He's 5th fastest at the moment. And I don't think he improved it on his second lap. We'll see here when it flashes up.
Second time by for Texas Terry. Some of the guys have run a little quicker. Majority have run a little bit slower in the second lap, man, unless they made a mistake in the first lap.
And so Terry did run slower on his second lap, so he's still 5th fastest. 15.722 seconds was his elapsed time on his first lap.
5th best, right? We told you he was in the top 5 in practice, and it was slower, as you said, man, second time by.
15.771 seconds, so 122.046 for Terry Labonte.
White flag for the MBNA Pontiac for Ward Burton.
Hey, he's got himself a good lap here, too.
Ward is one of 7 drivers who won a pole a year ago, but has not yet won a pole in 1997. Driving the Bill Davis machine, and he drives it deep in turn 3 and has to hang on.
4th fastest on his first lap. I think that driving deep in that third turn hurt him a little bit in that second lap there, Jerry. It was slower at 15.806. His first lap was 15.669, 122.458. Benny?
Hey, Trickle, look up on the board. 90, second spot. Pretty nice, huh?
Well, I like it. You know, I mean, the team's working really hard. You know, we got everything it takes. We just need some time to work things out. You know, Tommy Baldwin come along with our crew chief. You know, he's going to be an asset to us. We got as good a sponsor there is. Old Junior, you get some advice.
Well, who is that sponsor?
Heilig Meyer.
Oh, okay. I forgot all about that. You're supposed to say that, Trickle.
Well, I figured you'd say it.
Well, okay, I did.
No, they've been real good and patient with us. But, I said before, the weeks and months, well, months, first 10 weeks, should start showing us better and better because we're trying to get our cars up to date. And it was a good run, our best lap of the day.
Okay, what did the 4-3 guy car do, guys? 15.781 on his first lap, Benny. 121.589, currently 7th fastest. Might be just a tenth of the clock faster on his second lap.
Bobby Hamilton, one of the 15 drivers that has won a pole in 1997. His pole coming up at Pocono, driving the STP Pontiac for Richard Petty.
Identical laps. Both of his laps exactly the same, right down to the thousandth of a second.
Well, he had his foot planted flat on the floor. It's all it would do as Bobby Hamilton clocks in 7 quickest. Back with more from Bristol in a moment. Back at Bristol, 12-time winner in the silver anniversary, celebrating his 25th year in NASCAR. Old DW, the Parts America Chevrolet.
This is another car that was bigger than life in person. I mean, these cars were so beast back then. Now they're like little matchboxes. I saw a show car in person. I'm like, oh my God, they're tiny. What happened to our big race cars? I think they went into Xfinity now, or ARCA, maybe. They used to use them for that.
First lap was 15.924. Second lap, 15.96. He took his first lap, and that put him 13th overall.
Oh, in real life, I'm in the pits in there somewhere, to be honest. Just there for fun, I remember.
Motor Speedway is Mark Martin in the Valvoline Ford, and everybody figures he would be a threat for the pole, and he always is here.
He has won 4 of the last 5 poles here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
See how shaded it is getting on the backstretch. That's what Geoff Gordon was concerned about. The cars that qualify later. Every minute.
Let me come on screen and see.
Comes back there, and that should help him.
His first lap, Ned, his third quickest, 15.640, 122.685. The question was his second lap slower? Faster? It was slower.
Yes, it was. 15.740 second, 121.906.
Hey!
All right, still plenty of cars left to run, including this guy, Ted Musgrave, who won a pole last year, still looking for pole number 1 here in 1997.
And I was there. I was at Bristol for this race. I remember because when... Okay, if you've looked at any of Geoff Bodine's interviews and such about when he got the Kowicki car and this and that, we kind of, my ex started working on that car in 97, the beginning of 97. He was the transport driver. So,
fortunate to bring it back because he was
we,
a lesser experienced driver wouldn't have.
There it comes with a good first
watching the Coke car, I'm sorry. Yeah, so anyway, we were working for the team. Pat Trison was the crew chief, and most of the guys that worked for Kowicki were still there in the crew. I didn't know them, to be honest.
So his first lap, Jerry, was 15.664.
So I mean, I would recognize them by face on the street, but I don't know their names, nor nobody really stood out except for Tim Brewer. Was just hired. Pat Trison was the crew chief, so they were looking to get some organization. Plus, Jim Batey had just started the purchasing. Remember, there was something to do with the sale of the car. Jim Batey was getting involved. And I had to raise off the floor a little bit right in the wall.
I'm not worried about the pole. I'm gonna get the front stretch with a 64.
But anyway, I got some streamers. He's a new streamer I didn't see before, but he has a good ride. Just so it's not weird.
Hey, Weber, he won a Michigan. What about his teammate here at Bristol?
Let's check in. Ted Musgrave fast on the wide open 2-mile track.
But it kind of distracts me from my train of thought because I'm old and trains don't run in my brain too good anymore. They're coal-fired.
Can you get top 5 here?
We did it last time, but like I say, Bristol's really tough to qualify.
Yeah, this was around that transition time when Geoff sold half the team to Jim Matei.
Good luck.
I believe is his name.
And 17th fastest for the
scorer for the team was
not too good, Bill. 16.198.
Pat Trison's wife, because that's how they did it a lot of times. So
much time really to get that car down.
They don't have to buy an extra hotel room for the scorer.
So that car probably was the best lap they've had on the backup car.
They're very important. Your team has to have them or they can't run. But yeah, I ended up scoring for the very next race after Bristol. Let's see in the schedule what it would have been. I think in Dover. Darlington. Okay. Darlington. So that's the second Darlington race. First Darlington race, I got this scar. It's always brown right here.
See what his second lap is.
That was a scar from sunburn. When the backstretch was the front was back, and it was probably actually 96 that I got that sunburn. I put sunscreen on everywhere, but we couldn't wear tanks like they can now. We had a wicked strict dress code back in the day. Now I guess it's like runway model who's got the best outfit or something. That was crazy. But we weren't allowed sleeves, weren't allowed open-toe shoes. All those things were not allowed in hot pits, and I like to be in hot pits best, you know. A lot of the girls and scorers, they would pal around together. I mean, I hung with Lori a little bit because we shared a ride. We drove down a couple times together. But, yeah, I like being on pit road where the action is. I pretty much know all the operations of the vehicle and what the changes are and what they're doing. I would stand in the pit box until you start seeing the guys scurrying around, testing their guns, and you knew pit stops were coming soon. I also had the headphones and could hear the, you know, pit instructions. But I didn't have a mic. My setup was not to speak back because the scorers in the booth weren't allowed to have communication, verbal communication with the
I would think that would help track conditions. Should make
team. They could hear the team. We would listen so we know when pit stops are coming up because that's stuff we scored too. And yeah, so
it should help those from here on out more.
Okay, Hut's two last 15.863 seconds, 15.9.
It's an interesting
slower second time by. We'll take his first lap at 120.961 miles per hour. Puts him currently 17th of the 21 cars that have qualified.
Ted Musgrave in the Prime Star Family Channel Ford. Next to qualify.
We mentioned there are 7 drivers in 1997 that won poles a year ago that are still have not won a pole this year, and Ted Musgrave is among those, along with Ricky Craven, Dale Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, Geoff and Ward Burton, and Jeremy Mayfield.
Well, he's close to doing that right now, Jerry. He's had himself a good lap on that first one. Let's see what it is.
I've had a sniffle. I was wanting to stream a little earlier in the week again, and I was going to do Vegas, but I cannot find the race that my dad's discussing. I'm thinking maybe it was a 98 race, but this was actually the race my dad started working with Kenny Wallace in the 81. I'm not sure if this is the one he gets the pole or not. I've covered that one a lot, but I was watching this for a different reason. I was getting some of the background on the car we were with.
Back at Bristol, Tennessee, qualifying continue. That's the top 15 right there. The latest car to go out.
See, we're in that 7, and I might be standing down there with them guys. I'm not sure.
And you see Chad Little clocks in at 18 quickest out of 23 cars.
It's hard to know because qualifying sometimes was held during the week. Now, I would work till Friday in Bristol. I'm thinking I drove up once by myself, and I think this is the race I drove up by myself. Maybe. One time I did. Man, those back roads on 21. 321, dark, in the woods, up the mountains. Back and forth. Remember that ride in the dark, so I had to have drove home from there as well. Somehow. It's hard to believe that it all runs together. And unless I'm watching these old ones again, it's hard for me to remember certain things.
Well, you know, you'd always like to think so.
Forget where I've been.
That's why I tried to reach down and grab a little more second lap. I knew
or which year. I mean, I never forget where I've been. I've always remembered if I've been there or not, but I can't recall the year or if I remember like it was that night I was at this one, so I definitely know it was the second Bristol I was at. And I scored the second Bristol for late. But this one, like I say, I'm not scoring but until the following week. I think if this is the one where Pat tries and quits, I score the following week. That's all how I can reference it. Because I think Bodine has a fast car. Just to give a background on this race. It's a race I'm thinking. He has a fast car. And he's running really well, but he didn't time a pit stop very good. Because, well, a green flag pit stop, you make it when you need to, right? And then a caution come out, and they went 2 laps down, and there was a verbal argument on pit road, put it that way, between the crew chief and the team manager. And the next thing I know, I'm seeing the headset laying there on the either the toolbox or the wall or something. I remember seeing, why is that headset and radio just laying there? And then I found out why. Because he went on live TV, I think, at the end of this race. I think that's why I'm reviewing. Everything's I think so. That's why I'm on live. And really, thank you, YouTube people. My YouTube, I get new follows all the time for various, either my nature stuff, I'm running my mouth, or my racing stuff. And I'm really appreciative because all of a sudden it seems people are interested. I like the qualifying to see, you know, who's in the race. We get to see their paint, so when we watch the race next, we know who's who, kind of, from the old days. And of course, that interstate there is Bobby Labonte. And because these are old tapes, we didn't have, okay, these all came off of VCR unless they came from the TV station. So, they have various technological issues. This one's definitely off of VCR because I see every now and then the pixelation, the tracking pixelations run across the screen. This particular episode, now that midfield's a 15.8, I think the pole is a 15.5 or 6. And then, let me see. This,
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, qualifying continued. Robbie Gordon's Coors Chevrolet. If you don't see him in the top 15, it's because he qualified 26th quickest. Just
Dave W. Subscribe to his channel. He's got like 16,000 subscribers. I got 100 or something. But that's more than I had prior, so it's always going up a little at a time. Somebody did a recent retrospect on these. I think it was the Scene Vault had 3 segments on the history of the Cartoon Network and racing.
And the second lap's where he had the scary slide.
It's pretty good.
He drops down to 16.336, and we'll take his first lap, which does get him in the top 25, and that bumps Gary Bradbury. The cars that have been bumped in the top 25 are the car number 11, Brett Bodine, 77, Morgan Shepherd, the 40, which didn't qualify there, Robbie Gordon, and the 78 of Gary Bradbury. Car number 10, Rudd, on the bubble. We check in with Bill.
With Jeremy Mayfield here, steering wheel on, helmet going on, 12th in the second practice. Jeremy, have you got a top 10 qualifying effort here?
Now, if you all remember, my dad worked with Joe Nemechek from 91 mid-season Darlington to 94, but all of 94 was with the Busch car mainly. He started out at Meineke, the 41, but there were a lot of crew chiefs there already, and he felt he could benefit Joe more with his short schedule, his part-time Busch schedule. So he tended the Busch cars for Joe in 94. Then in 95, my dad went to Moroso and Grissom. My dad's kind of like, was, you know, like a suitcase chick. He was either crew chief, like with a contract sometimes, but more so, he was contract labor, so to speak, either as a consultant, a chassis consultant, machine work, shocks, anything to do with the setup mainly. And he had notes like from the early 70s of all these tracks that they've raced. And so he also was consulting with IMSA and modifieds and still does. In fact, he's very reachable on
And there's the official
Facebook,
times and speeds
Vic
net
Kangas.
for Dale Jarrett.
And a difficult time to
And you can always
get the position because he's higher in the points.
send him a message that way. If you have any handling questions or anything, he's always willing to help young drivers. That's his thing. He liked working with drivers and making them go faster. I think he's always helped drivers improve their skills when he's worked with them, because he has a way of being able to mentor the young ones and explain
but Ned, not quick enough.
No, he almost lost it off turn 4 on the second lap. He slipped
handling
a
of
little
the
bit,
car a
and that
little bit
certainly cost him a
better.
lot.
I
So
think
pretty far
the
down
records
line.
show that my dad has definitely helped when he was at the track with different teams.
First lap, 26th quickest.
And I guess that's why he would be continued to be hired for consulting.
miles an hour for lake speed.
Picked it up on his second lap, Jerry. I think
And like I say, he still does consulting, but he doesn't go to the track much anymore. He is 82 years old. We go to coffee every Monday, and I try to join them when I can. They have coffee every Monday at 2 at an area Dunkin' Donuts near Daytona, but it's not in Daytona, it's south of Daytona.
Well, DJ, not bad.
You can DM me if you ever wanted to go. I'll let you know the details. You never know who you might see.
Of a second.
Had to get to the inside.
Because you tied the 90 car, but you end up on the outside because you're higher in the points. If you're 1,000 seconds slower, you'd be on the inside.
I should have gone about 300s faster, and I'd been on the pole, and I'd been on the inside too.
Oh, that's true.
Always think faster. There you go. Good, pretty good line. I just got a little high up in 3 and 4 the first lap, and that probably cost me a little, but the car was awesome. These guys done a great job. It's a brand new race car. Not many people bring a brand new race car to Bristol, but
I think Daytona's coming up soon, so you can all think about that. If you want to know where they meet for coffee on Monday at 2 p.m., I'll let you know.
Bristol, but it's the first Union Chevy. How's it running?
Yeah, we're just going to try to get a good one in. This is the car we had last week, so hopefully we won't have to use the tank.
Okay, he has a tank, but didn't bring it here. Jeremy Mayfield with a pretty good effort.
Well, the new Kmart colors, that car getting better and better.
This
Currently 12th overall.
hits the spot. Just so you know. I think my dad's working with this car. I think.
Look at this car right here. Kenny Wallace, he was third fastest in practice.
Okay, he's definitely was working with him, because I know he worked on that setup. I got to get him on with us live at some point just to talk about. Whoa.
Let's see the clocks. Indeed it was.
Jeez, he slaughtered it. Look at 120.
5 seconds for Kenny Wallace, the square D Ford. The speed 123.039. And listen to this crowd.
Jesus, he slaughtered it. Look at. Look how much faster he was than
he accomplished it so far.
You know, Ned, back in the spring, he slipped
595.
and qualified fourth.
That little slip like that, I think, gave him the willies, because he did end up changing the setup for the race.
To congratulate Kenny Wallace on a great qualifying lap.
But my dad also won Bristol then later on, earlier in '96 with Busch car, with Jeff Fuller. The night race. So, coming out of the modifieds of the Northeast, my dad, building and setting up cars up there in his early career, he just really had this short track stuff set up, and he is one to run a very stiff setup. And I asked my dad why drivers are uncomfortable with stiff setups. And he said it's because the car is so under them, and then all of a sudden it has an edge, and that it hits that edge, and that's that. So it's an uncomfortable feeling for a driver sometime to have a stiff setup. I believe my dad is in this right there. Is my dad right behind the guy in the red hat? He looks like me, just a guy with short hair. Same color, blonde. Okay, there's our car. 15.7.
His first lap quicker than 2. puts him 12th.
Am I around there? Because that's where I would have been.
Dale Earnhardt in the top 25. Earnhardt 26th quickest.
Well, like
right
I
now.
said,
We see Rick Mast,
gosh, if they
Remington,
qualified like midweek, I drove up on the weekend because I worked a real life job in addition to scoring or recreationally going and watching when it's a less common track. Like a lot of the New England tracks, especially like with Geoff Bodine, there wouldn't be a lot of room on the pit roster, so I would skip a lot of them unless I was scoring.
Well, Phil Martos was giving Kenny, look happy, man.
Remember my last name, Wallace, right? You used to go home every Saturday night from Tri-City Speedway. If my dad runs second, we were depressed. So we're supposed to be here. But now, Benny, now I am nervous. Yeah. Because I do want to get the pole now.
You want to be greedy and get that pole, huh?
At first, all I wanted to do was get in the front straightaway. So, yeah, I guess I am. I do want to be greedy, but I don't know. I want the pole. I don't want to drink myself.
John back's close, man. What do you do?
Benny, get away from the boy. Benny, get away from him.
No, it's just 10th fastest, but they still 1560, 1568.
Benny, you don't want to jinx the boy, Benny.
You know.
I don't know if Kenny realizes that my dad might be his good luck charm. My dad was there for his very first win at Volusia County Speedway in Bush, because my dad's in the background photobombing and taking photographs, because he went there to give some advice to Birdie because they only qualified 16th. So anyway, they won. He was there for that. He was there for Kenny's last win, which I think was 2004-ish or 2-ish, 2004. I can't remember. And I'll look it up. And he's here when he got the pole. And there was one other stat that he was around Kenny for some good luck, and I forget now what it is. But yeah, he's kind of Kenny's good luck charm. And my dad has, I think, a couple of Max race cards of Kenny in his cabinet at home, his trophy cabinet. So he's quite fond of Kenny.
37 miles an hour for the Buzz McCall-owned Chevrolet. That's the top 10 as you see the car number 30. Last week's pole sitter, the Pennzoil Pontiac.
Boy, he came off that fourth turn. Got himself a pretty good lap. Looked like he got a little bit loose coming off of there. There's our current pole setter, Kenny Wallace.
And Kenny Wallace watching. He knows that Benson is yet to run. Then 3 more cars, and that will do it.
Breathe one more time, Kenny. Only have 3 more to go.
Well, Benson's first lap, 21st quickest, 15.763 seconds, but Nettie was even quicker second time by.
15.741 seconds, but still is 21st.
And that will bump the car number 43 from the top 25. Bobby Hamilton has been bumped. A moment ago, Jeff Green was bumped, and Mike Skinner, as well as Michael Waltrip. Those have been bumped in the top 25.
Okay, here we go with Ed Barrier. He found some pretty good practice laps here today.
This McCafe iced coffee is the best in my opinion. I crave just a plain coffee. Well, no sugar, but just 2 creams. Yummy.
Ed Barrier, yeah. What'd I say?
Gary Bradbury.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just, see, I got these crossed. I'm thanking the good Lord.
Hey, brother.
Well, he didn't beat him. Didn't come close on that first lap, Benny Taylor. 15.81. But he improved it on the second lap. Not enough to beat Kenny, but he got himself a good lap. He's going to be pitting on the front stretch, I believe. Well, maybe not.
21st quickest, Nettie gets the final spot right now with 2 cars to run. 15.727 for Ed Barrier. 122.007 miles an hour. And that will bump the car number 1 of Lance Hooper from the top 25. We check in with Bill.
With David Green,
It
all
looks
smiles.
like
Nice run.
Thanks,
we
Bill.
qualified
Bristol's been
15th.
good to me again. So now the car's been pretty decent. You know, we were good in that last practice session, but pencil in the dilemma about when the sun goes down and starts getting cooler. It's about 15 degrees cooler now, so we guessed about 95% right on what to do. We just need a little bit more. But But heck, I'll take hopefully a top 10 any day, no matter whether it's good or bad.
David Green, all smiling, and his heart pumping away there. Ernie on the track.
All right, there are 10 active drivers who are pole sitters here at Bristol. Ernie Irvin is one of those. He's won poles twice, but had that first lap not impressive.
And the second one was less impressive, Jerry. 30th fastest on his first lap, 15.792 seconds. And his second lap was even slower. He slipped coming off of turn 4, 15.917 seconds on the second lap. So
my dad sent me this video this month, even though I watch it quite a bit.
Petty in the Hot Wheels Pontiac. You're watching Herman, they call him, Kenny Wallace. He is the youngest of the three Wallace brothers. He got his first pole in Martinsville, Virginia early this year on ESPN. And if he can hold his breath for about 30 seconds, he may have a shot at getting his second one right here live on the Deuce.
I had quite a busy morning. This is my errands morning. I went out and got a few things at the supermarket, at the Winn-Dixie. Shout out Mort Morton. But yes, we still have a Winn-Dixie. I got some fruit and some coffee
Boy, what consternation.
for my percolator.
Doesn't want to celebrate, doesn't want to smile when here's that final time at speed.
There's the smile. He's slower on his
Some energy drinks for my kid and McDonald's breakfast. There we go. Kenny Wallace gets that pole. And I feel proud of Dad because he had his hand in it. Newt Moore is crew chief.
If I get beat, you get beat because the first lap was good. And so I don't know, I want to thank Square D, Benny. They've been good to us, and they've been waiting for a little bit of success. And it means a lot for the whole team, to get this pole because that's 2 this year. So that means Martinsville wasn't a fluke. But now the problem is it was another short track pole. So now I'm a short track driver, darn it. But I'm happier than heck.
But you did Dale Jarrett a favor. I got on Dale Jarrett because I said if you'd slowed down a thousandth of a second, you'd have been on the inside. So you go out and you knock him back to the inside.
That laugh is funny. You know who else laughed like that? Ricky Fuller, I believe. Has that big laugh.
Then you get a chance for a pole and you want more. But it means a lot to me, Benny. It really does. Winston Cup's everything I want. And it's been hard for me to break into this. And I'd just like to thank my crew chief, Newt Moore. He went out and hired Vic Kangas this week. And we figured Vic could help us out in the chassis area. And between him and Newt, they did a good job. And we had 1 lap in it, and that's what it was.
Now you're going to start trying to worry about how to win the race.
Thank you, Kenny.
I'm already thinking about how soft I can get in the rear and how soft I can get in the right front. And I'm already started, that's just the way it is, Rusty's won a lot of races here, and I know what he does. And if I can get that soft, then I'll be happy. But I'm really happy right now.
Somebody told me your birthday's tomorrow.
It is. I forgot.
Hey, Michael. Good to see ya. Yeah, I know, right? Kenny was always good about that.
Thank you, Self. Self said thank you.
But yeah, Newt would hire him, and I asked Dad the other day, he said it wasn't every race, just certain races that Newt didn't have notes for or whatever, or felt like he wanted a little help. But my dad flew to almost all the races with Phil Martacci on his plane because they were friends. They got along well.
Simple-looking
cars. We told you there are 4 Fords and a Chevrolet in the top 5, then 3 Chevys.
I was lurking your channel yesterday. I've been kind of tired. I think I had a little bit of a fever for a couple days. And no matter how much I slept, I couldn't feel rested. I feel a little better today. Because I already ran my errands, went to the stores. The only thing I didn't do was get gas, and I didn't go to the post office. I need to mail a box to my granddaughter. And yeah, I'm glad to. I had to go to the mall with my sister on Saturday last week.
Here at Bristol, you start 10th.
And
really worked good together today.
I had a
It's,
sniffle ever
real
since.
pleasure to work with them when we all work together and communicate
Just kind of,
well.
and then
I
just
tell you, it's
all of a
tight
sudden
field. Only in
exhausted and
Winston
just
Cup
sleep.
racing
Like
could you ever feel that tight. The pole's a 59. I run a 66.
My,
so if I run a 10th fast, I could
my
have been
son
on the
would be
pole,
racing a
10th
couple
slow, I'd have
times.
been
Like he woke
barely
me
in
up
the top 25.
when he
That's
ran Moon
tough
Car, I
Winston
think
Cup class,
Tuesday.
As a driver, do you think about that before you go
He
out?
said, Mom, I
No,
made it
you
in
know, we
Moon
just all
Car
do the best
today.
we
So
can,
I said,
and,
okay. I
you
think he
can-
didn't finish
you can
10.
actually
He does
feel
it just for
when you're off
exhibition.
and
He
you
has
can feel a
to
tenth of a
make
second
sure
a lot of
he
places.
Have a good run
doesn't
here
get
Saturday
too
night.
wild
Thanks a lot.
because, you
Warren
know,
Burton smiling here at Bristol. Benny?
You know, Ned and Jerry,
how it
during
goes.
qualifying, kept talking about
It's more
pit
of an
road,
exhibition,
pit
a
stops,
fun
pit
race, and I had to
stops.
tell them, look
This
at
is
it
your
like
coveted
that.
area.
You're just an
All
exhibition.
down the front stretch. What
It's
happens
not
when the caution
racing
flag
for
comes out?
points.
The pace car picks up the field. The next time by, the field is open. The pit road is open. These cars go in the pit.
You know, my
The
kid
guys
takes
that
it
fit
all
on the
so
back stretch, They have to wait
seriously.
until the next time by. The pace car will drop these cars
Yeah,
off.
I'm
Then when he
glad.
gets to the
Thank
back stretch,
you.
he will drop those cars off. I mean, it just common sense tells you these guys will finish their work
It's
first.
been a
they'll go
hot,
back on the
hot
racetrack,
summer,
and they'll be in front of all the
and
guys pitting on the
everywhere,
backstretch.
of course,
So
but
if a guy
Florida
starts
even more so.
23rd,
Like,
he works his way up to 10th,
I think
the
it was
caution flag
98
comes out,
degrees
he'll
yesterday,
probably go back to
which
about
isn't
23rd or 24th
the
on the next
heat's not so
restart. So
bad,
that's why
but
all
there's
front stretch
the
pits are
gnats.
very, very coveted.
Now they talk about mosquitoes. Now
Boy, indeed,
where
Dan,
I'm
how
at,
close
the
it is, and
mosquitoes
everyone
aren't
wants
too
to fit on
bad
the
because they
front
spray
straightaway.
for
Now,
them.
Ned, it's a good thing
But
Kenny
these
Wallace got the pole in his
no-see-ums
first lap
chew
because
me
the second lap, well,
alive,
it was a little bit frightening.
and
Yes,
in
it
a
was.
painful
Let's take a
way.
look.
Like
See how you got in that corner a little bit
right
too
there,
hard,
I got
loose,
bit, and
almost lost
it
the
made
car,
a
but he
scab
did
that
get it
big,
slowed down,
like on my
came back
arm,
across the
like,
start-finish
can't
line and
see it.
saved his race car.
Like that.
All right, a lot of action coming your way
It
at
was
7
this
o'clock Eastern
big.
time tonight. John Kernel will have all
Like
the updates on
that big.
RPM tonight, including an
And it was
update on
one
what happened
little
to Ron
no-see-um.
Hornaday. Pretty horrifying
And
wreck at Watkins
I'll
Glen
welt
today
up like
during
that, and if I
truck
get
practice.
too many
Formula
bites,
One
I
practice
feel
from Spa,
nauseous.
Belgium, and
Like
wrap up
at
qualifying.
my
We'll come
sister's
back here
when
for
I
a
work
quick
in her
insert
yard,
at
and if I
Bristol,
get too many
Tennessee.
bites,
Bristol coverage
I
coming up this
started
weekend. Of course, coming up
carrying
7:30
deep
tonight,
woods
Boom
off,
City
and that
250
helps.
at
Like
7:30
totally,
p.m.
they
Eastern
don't
time
bother
on
me at all with
ESPN
deep
Classic
woods
tomorrow
off.
night. NASCAR today
But
at 7 o'clock Eastern time.
I'd have to
Our
actually
live
go in the
flag
house
flag
because I would
coverage.
feel
Bob Jenkins will be
sick
here
to
to
my
call the
stomach.
action. 500 grueling
Something
laps
about
on
the
high
venom
banks
in the
at
no-see-ums
Bristol,
make me
Tennessee.
really
Kenny
sick.
Cutter, 500.
Like
Let's go back
green
to
and
Bill.
Normally it's
itch
front
and
row, Joe,
swelling.
but here
Look
not
at
quite
that.
the luck you're
That's
used
John
to.
Hunter right
No,
there in
I
that
had
little
a
suit.
Bell South Chevrolet was running good in practice. The guy
Yo,
gave me a
that's
good car.
John Hunter.
I got tight qualifying. Just couldn't get the car to turn the corners. Had to let off early and pick the gas up later. And when you can't step on the gas, you don't go fast.
And one tired fan.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's Joe Nemechek. He'll have to examine his options for Saturday.
All right, don't forget, coming up next, Subaru American Outback. How about Kenny, alias Herman Wallace, picking up his second career?
Now the race
Winston
is
Cup
next.
pole, and he did it in style here at Thunder Valley.
I know,
Bristol
right?
Motor Speedway.
Baby John Hunter. We actually had the magazine, the Winston Cup Scene magazine, of the whole story of, you know, John losing his life and John Hunter being born, and, you know, the pros and the cons basically was what that article was about. But I sent that to RJ. I sent that up with him last year because he collects that genre of like a lot of he collects a lot of the magazines and such. So that's kind of a cool little commercial with the. Okay, now it's because it switched. This is the actual race now. Under the lights, and like I said, I was here, but this is the race. I believe our crew chief quit, and his wife was the scorer, so I got to score the next race at Darlington for the 7 car. That car. Oh, it was so fun to do the wave when I was there in 93, was it? 92 and 93 in Busch when Joe was running. And I flew down, my sister and I flew down for the race from Massachusetts. And it rained for a while, and there was like a rain delay and before the race could start. And our whole team was on the front pit wall doing the wave got the crowd going. Nemechek's team back in the day was a great team with Mikey Borginger and Brian Larson, Red, and Kevin, and Joe's brother John, his mom, his dad. They all just got along so good. It was just really a team that clicked. Separating Rusty. You see Rusty's look in his eye. Oh, I was there that night too. Because I was working for Lake the year before at night. This is all.
The atmosphere is electric as
That might have been 95.
Anticipating the start not of a 12-round prize fight, but of a 500-round heavyweight title bout. It's bare knuckles, NASCAR style, a fender banging barroom brawl. Folks, if you're looking for a fight, then you tuned in right. But it's Bristol, and it's Saturday night.
When my dad was with the 81 team, they actually had for the Charlotte weekend, though they didn't do too well, they had a sports writer, with the 81 car, and he wrote a book called Little Bit Sideways, and my dad's got the book. I took a bunch of screenshots of certain things in the book that I wanted to reference. So it was all about this time and this team.
The youngest member of the Wallace clan celebrates his 34th birthday from the front row.
Now remember, he said in his interview he's going to soften up the car and put Rusty's setup back in it after qualifying. Like I said, some drivers just do not like a stiff setup for the whole race. It's not as Cadillac, you know.
It's something they have never done before. They brought a brand new car to Bristol. He has never won on the short tracks. Maybe tonight's the night. But what about his teammate, John Kernan?
Jerry, Ernie Irvin starts back in the 32nd position. That means that he will be pitting on the backstretch, which makes it even harder to win. This is a brand new car, but they think they have it figured out now. In fact, Ernie told the crew this afternoon he could win tonight. He won.
I'm going to file a burr off my nail, and I'm going to end up filing them off if I don't put the file down.
Earnhardt with Dade and Bill Elliott, who won on the way to the championship in '88. They have their work cut out for them, but it can be done.
Went to the beach this week with Stella. It was so fun.
In the 28 car. So you're looking for some muscle here at Bristol. Well, here's your man, 149.
It was a little bit cloudy, so it wasn't beating sun, and she got tired fast again. She's only 6, but she's pretty chubby. She's been getting so tired on her walks. Even if I just take her less than a quarter mile to take the trash and come back, she lays down one time on the way back.
Who could have won last week at Michigan.
Yeah. I asked my dad why drivers don't tend to like a stiff setup, and he said because it's under you, and then all of a sudden it's not, and they'll spin. You got to know where that edge is, and some drivers can feel that, and some have a more difficult time, and some like a soft flowing chassis with a lot of shock travel, and some don't. For Bristol, a stiff setup probably is physically grueling too. Yeah, she don't like the heat at all. And plus she's solid black, black lab color, and there's the wave. That is something to see and hear in real life. It's cool. But yeah, she's a little chubber. 80 pounds. Yeah.
We haven't seen a short track race
since April.
Let's
see what we got a woof woof.
If you've been watching racing for the last 4 months, you've seen
there's Miss Telly.
Racetrack, a couple of road courses thrown in. But Saturday night half-mile racing is a lot different, then.
Boy, I tell you, this is what racing's all about. Get back
she's
to
a good girl, though. Man, she's cool as can be.
And we'll see some of that here tonight. Very close field here tonight. Less than a second. A quarter of a second, I should say, separating the pole winner.
When I asked her if she wanted to go to the beach, she started crying in the house. She's like whimpering and going, squeaky noises. That's a good vibe there at Bristol, too. That's another track if you get to go to. It's not like an Indy or a North Wilkesboro as far as the history just beating down on you. It's not so much that, but it's just like concert vibe. Concert. And in the infield, you go deaf. I mean, holy crap, your ears ring. Oh, my God, your ears ring for like 3 days. You hear buzzing in your head. My ears ring constantly now, probably from all of this. That's
from Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee is being
part of the deal.
Daytona, USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction.
So far, fingers crossed. I don't have
classic American lager.
Any of the cancers or anything yet, but some man, we just heard of another one that's fighting it, so I wouldn't out him by name online, but another one of our really close friends has got cancer. Another person from this era that was successful in the team realm, not driver. If I see it announced in social media somewhere, then I'll mention it.
Who's celebrating his 34th birthday. It's his second pole of 1997, and Jeff Gordon, who's won 3 of the last 5 races here. The second row, Dale Jarrett, who has finished 4th in the last 2 races, and Dick Trickle with his best Bristol start since 1990. The third row, Mark Martin, the 93 winner of this event, and Ken Schrader, who's finished in the top 15 in the last 6 Winston Cup races. Row number 4, Sterling Marlin, 9 top 10s in 25 Bristol events, and David Green, who won a Busch race here in 94. The fifth row, Derek Cope.
In my opinion, there are many ways to set up a car, and a lot of it's driver specific, but the one thing you don't really change for a driver, your frame height. You know, frame height, springs and shocks are kind of your basic, your grassroots foundation, and then you do other tweaks, softer or harder, maybe with your shocks to accommodate a driver, or the bar can give a secure feel for a driver too. A lot of it's communication.
Less than a lap to go before we get the green flag here at Bristol.
Lance Hooper. He made quite a few
Hamilton, Jeff Green
starts.
Back in row 15, there's Mike Skinner leading rookie Ernie Irvin, a winner here. Row 17, Michael Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt. All these cars pitting on the backstretch.
That McDonald's car under the lights is going to be so pretty.
In this night race here at Bristol. And there you see the drivers who have taken the provisionals. We have 3 drivers who failed to miss the field, to make the field, I should say, here tonight.
The green flag comes out, and we're racing at Bristol, and the goodies heading powder.
White noise.
Wallace got himself a good jump.
Yes, tire pressure is a great one to adjust to the track temperatures. That's a great one.
But Dale Jarrett
See,
will lead the first lap.
Kenny's loosened up the cut, or put softer springs in the right side, he said, right? I know he put Rusty's winning setup in there.
Dick Trickle and the pole sitter.
But even Rusty and Kenny's styles both were so different, so comfort isn't always fast.
And he had to be a little bit tentative there at the beginning, Benny, to wonder how the car was going to feel when he went into the corner.
Kenny Wallace has not led a lap this year. We thought
Must
maybe
have
he would lead
changed
that
the
first one.
balance.
Not so, as Dale Jarrett took it in. So
You want to always be able to wrap the line if you can.
1997. He last led a NASCAR Winston Cup race back in October at Charlotte.
There's the Burton brothers, Ward Burton 22, Jeff Burton in 99.
Like the car that's handling the best right at this moment looks to be the 99 and the Musgrave car.
And then comes Ted Musgrave. 78 car, we understand, is smoking a bit out there.
Yes, and he's going to the pits.
And his black flag, as a matter of fact, that's Gary Bradbury in the 28 car, who's headed for the backstretch pit.
Had a great qualifying run. He was the only driver in second round qualifying to make it into the field. Everybody else stood, and he beat everybody that stood and started 26.
Our car looks
Looks
like Bodine didn't want to drive it in as hard as Rusty wanted to.
And Rusty's got a battle to get up front.
Yeah, he's having to arc the corner to be able to cut in. He's tight going in and loose coming out, so he's already a little over-wedged. Or he's under-wedged, actually. So it may go to neutral in a minute.
There's so little difference in the speed of these cars in qualifying that it's very
It's hard for me to remember, tire-wise, back then.
78 car in the pits. It's an oil and transmission oil leak as the crew underneath the car.
Because the radio's definitely,
Onto the exhaust pipe.
yeah,
The smoke is coming from
throttle loose at Bristol.
does a good job to make the field here. Sitting on pit road going laps down. We'll see if they can get this fixed. And Jeff Gordon's making a move out of
As the gas goes out, it'll create more wedge. So when people start the race loose, it usually always goes to a push when the wedge differential starts to change as the fuel load goes down. And so they compensate for that. And that's one of the actual, I think on the sim you can do those adjustments in a fixed is by running less or more gas can help your wedge or your balance. Your 50, it's to do with your percentile 50, 50-50 or 51-50 or whatever your, yeah.
Here from the Pennzoil copter cam.
Yeah. Softer left rear, stiffer right rear.
And Jeff Gordon takes the lead after Dale Jarrett had led the first 13 laps.
Another thing with the radials, I know Pounds would adds percentage like a spring rate. The radials acted like springs sometimes. Now, in real life, I think they're running the Cup cars pretty soft right now because the way they blow out on the edges. And that's why we used to do the 3 tire temps across to see your tire patch. Oh boy. I think Kenny wrecks here. I don't know, or he wrecks early out of the race, but I'm not sure.
Looks like the 95 car hit barriers, the only car that's going to get left in the situation. Now his car is moving again, and I don't see any damage. There's certainly no damage to the right side. I don't think there's any damage to the left side.
There was a lot of smoke, but I don't think a great deal of damage to any car.
That was something, the radials my dad had run in IMSA back in when he was with the IMSA teams from 1984 to
again, see if we can determine what happened.
Starts back in the
thinking like 88, 89.
Barry just stands on the gas. The car goes around, keeps the car going in circles.
Because he was first with the Dingman brothers, and then he went over to the Nissan Cunningham racing team. And that was, the Nissan Turbo 300ZX, the 300ZX Turbo, the classic, the team that ran that car is what that's based off of. And he had the GTO side of things, not the GTP, which is like your LMPs now.
We saw Michael Walter back off there, and someone ran the back up, and around he went.
So caution out here at Bristol the first time tonight.
Now,
Mike Skinner's got some damage there on the right front of his car, and also on the right side.
Are they on?
And he and Johnny Benson come into the backstretch.
I think this is the first pit stop where everyone gets to, pit roads. Yeah, here they come. I was going to say it's closed. When you wreck, you go in early, you go in anytime, take your EOL.
On the second Brickyard 400 with. You can see the crewman going to work pulling that right front fender, and a lot of cars on the back pits. Chad Little is on here. Johnny Benson is on here. Also Michael Walter.
2 race programs that I watch for. I don't normally watch racing commentaries, but Ryan Priest was being interviewed on Dirty Mo Media, which that show, if it's somebody I know like Ryan or something, I'll watch more often. And also anything with Mark Martin, he's a great guy and very level thinker, he was so serious back in the day. So serious. But also, that's almost dark. And then the Ryan Priest on Dirty Mo this week was fantastic interview, and it really did tell tell how, you know, we could relate so much to how we grew up at the racetrack at Stafford. I also grew up at Stafford. My son as well at Monadnock, you know, and those racetracks he talks about are very familiar. And then my dad, when Ryan talks about the 2016-17 and winning New Smyrna and that type of thing, my dad's regular weekday job has stalls that have a diamond plate in it. It's actually Smokey Unit's diamond plate. Anyone remember Smokey? And they had Ryan with his modified at New Smyrna that year. I think came down and stayed in the garage. Maybe prior to that. It was prior to I was in Florida in 2016, so it was a little prior to that. And my dad and Ryan's grandfather were good friends. My dad had worked on his cars before and competed against him before as well, but they were really good friends and competitors. And my dad had Ryan's grandpa have the 2X modified in the garage here in Daytona when he was running New Smyrna. So they got to spend a good week or so down there for Speed Weeks, or 2 weeks actually. Wasn't New Smyrna 9 days or something? Back then, it still is. So, hi, Stelly. Mommy rubbing Stelly belly. She's gonna have to go out soon. It's been a while. She just had McDonald's. She got a biscuit. She had half of my bacon, egg, and cheese. And a sausage.
As Geoff Gordon continues to
Stelly, here she's wagging her tail. She loves McDonald's more than anything. Except for the beach. You love the beach.
Yeah, Jimmy's coming right.
Did Stelly go to the beach?
Jimmy is following him right through.
Did you make a video? Yeah, we watched it. Stelly TV, don't we? If I put on her videos at the beach, she wags her tail. McDonald's regular biscuit. I think they got dog biscuits. She's got dog biscuits. She got some dog biscuits. You want a treat? You do? Okay, babe. She got the prettiest eyes. I absolutely love her to death. I had her jump up on the bed my last stream. I got a click. You full? You cookie? Okay. She didn't take it with much vigor. I think she's pretty full from her McDonald's. That's her treat. McDonald's when I have payday. We paid the rent. Now we all set. We have a house again. For another month.
Marlin has the opposite problem. He just radioed Robert Larkins and he's getting passed by more and more cars. And he has developed a severe push. The car really...
My dad worked with Grissom on that 41 as well. Oh, and my dad worked Bush and Cut. And that's another thing I got confused about. So during 95 and 96 and 97, he worked Bush and Cut for certain teams.
Makes the move around to the inside.
Lake Speedway, I worked for him the year before.
Eric Cope continues to move up as Kenny Wallace continues to go the wrong way. That's the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Oh, he's hanging in there pretty good, though, and he is at this point. But the car's got a wicked push. You can't wrap that line very good anymore.
Run for Derry Cope here in the early going as he runs in 5th spot. Well, now I take that back.
Slipped just a little bit and lost all of those positions. 3 of them.
Doesn't take much, does it?
Oops. You see when that nose drifts up in the corner like that?
On the 39th lap,
that's an uncomfortable feeling.
He led the first 17 or 16.
That's your weight transfer not transferring quick enough. Or it's not coming off your left rear quick enough. Your left rear is driving. If you're going to the wall, your left rear is driving more than your right rear.
Very, very close to the lead.
Yeah, exactly. It needs either a little more stagger or something. Yeah, the balance is key. And that's exactly a good solution. That's the quickest solution drop the weight. And you'll watch maybe on their pit stop, they might be there with the, you'll see they have the round disc. Back then it was just the nozzle and a round disc, and they would let air out. Like, and the disc, the dial indicator.
13th on back. Wow. Look at that. Wally Dallenbach's looking out to dry right now. He's definitely
Bodine's not handling well coming off the corner. Either that or he's driving it really hard, because he was, you watch the attitude of the car, it's not settled. See, it did it again. It's acid.
You see how quickly those turns come up when you look out the windshield. One of those in-car cameras.
My dad said he always watched the driver. Me, I always watch the four tires. Like, the body roll can deceive you, so I always watch the four tires. And I guess my artist geometry type vision, being an artist, I guess. That's how I watch. I watch the front tires. I know what the driver's doing with the steering. My dad was more watching their hands. To me, I can't see that easily. But I enjoy the setup side of that. My son's been doing setups. One that he was very successful with recently was for the 24 Hours of Spa. He actually took the Mustang because he wanted to take a challenge, and he's big Ford, big. As big as I am, Chevy, he's big in Ford. And he bleeds Ford blue. Always has. Ever since his drag racing days, he always had Mustangs. And yeah, he set up the Mustang, and mid-race consistency, everything. It was really good. And considering it's not anything that's turbocharged, supercharged, anything like that, they started 47th and finished 17th in the 24. So they gained 30 positions, so it wasn't too bad, and it was very stable. No big wrecks. The worst wreck was Chris. He had, I think, a 4-minute damage or a 6-minute damage, and Gamer might have dinged it a little bit, but it was, I think they lost a total of 9 laps for damage, and then they finished like 16 laps down. So 24 hours wise, he was, I think that's a pretty, he felt really good about being able to set that up, and him and Gamer worked on it, and I think William Tozer might have worked on it with them some. It was it was Jason Blaney's call, because Jason Blaney is the Field Up Motorsports manager, and he wanted Field Up to run the Mustang. Now, Blaney didn't end up driving it because he might have had, I think he had plans to couldn't race the race, but I think they did well. My son's been working with the young rookies. They had one other guy, Christian. He's from New Zealand, and he was driving. Because it's their Kiwi, their secret Kiwi weapon. But Gamer and Christian are kind of rookies to the endurance, and Chris has been coaching them now for 3 endurance races, and it's worked out well. So he's quite proud of that spa set up for the Mustang. And I told him that, New Zealander is great. Exactly. Yep. They did so good. I was so proud of them. They all hung in there. Nobody did any terrible damage. They didn't have too many drive-throughs for X's, not too many off-tracks. They all improved, I would say, 50% over their previous endurance races that they didn't get to finish. So their goal was to finish, and then to gain 30 spots was even better. And that's on Chris because he did the qualifying too. So he slipped in one little spot, and that's how tight that race was. But yeah, they did good.
Nice save though by Ernie Irvin moments ago.
I told him since he found that setup for other tracks, the balance wouldn't be too much different because you're still racing on a flat surface. It'd be really cool to try it, like just for giggles at Daytona Road or something. We'll see how it goes. I think they're practicing for the Nissan Classic, the Road America Classic is the next endurance race. I think it's in August or
second time here this afternoon at the end of 67 laps. John Kernan.
67 laps.
Who's pulled his Pontiac behind the wall, the crewman underneath going to work. An overheating problem. In fact, the engine temperature is running as
high as 280 degrees. They were putting some water in,
but it was wanting to spit it back out. And also, they're looking in the area of the rear end gear.
Because we got Christopher, Christian, and Kenneth.
Smells like there was a lot of smoke coming out from the rear of the car, so they may have burned up the rear end gear.
Kyle Petty's best finish here at Bristol was in April of 1993. He finished
and 3 drivers
now we
on
see
it
those
too,
on the
so
lead lap making pit stops. Bill Weber.
Jeff Burton is on pit road along with all the leaders. Burton getting right side tires. This should be routine stops under caution. Some guys might drive and take 2
here we see right behind him. See if you see my feet. That little short bastard is probably my husband. He's like 5'4". That's how I can tell it's found. They didn't have the names on the uniforms then. I think he has his name on his uniform when he went to Roush, but I was out of pitch about it. Whoa! I love it. I love it. Did you see that?
Let's go to John Kernan.
I think the 24 beat him, but I couldn't. That was happening fast.
Side of the car. The jack goes up. We expect him to take a rubber out of the left rear.
I think this is the McReynolds year and crew chief and him. Oh, wait a minute. That might have been Mike Skinner because Dale didn't race the... Oh, well, this is Cup. I keep thinking this. No, that is definitely what am I thinking?
Yeah, I think he must have just taken on 2 tires, Bob, because he came out first on this.
I sometimes forget if it's a Busch or a Cup race until I get my senses.
Hamilton catching up to the field.
Watch this when the cars come out the
Oh,
field.
look at Kenny Wallace in the front.
Jeff Gordon is moving. Jeff Burton tries to beat them all to the line.
They're definitely waiting on that left side. That's got to be poundage out, right?
In the 25 pit, we'll see what happens to him. Ricky Craven.
We see the angle he had to go in there was not where he wanted to be, but that's the way when he got to his pits, there wasn't much room there. But look,
Jesus!
Was that one of Ted Musgrave's crew members?
He's flipping him off. He's like, what the hell?
That's racing on the short tracks.
Tempers flare not only on the racetrack, but also in the pit area. Ricky Craven comes in for another stop as we are under caution here at Bristol.
Jesus.
70 laps into the Goodies headache powder 500.
Pit road's dangerous. Dangerous. Robinson. Lap 53.
20 laps ago that this little incident down in corner number 4 involved Ernie Irvin. He got to the inside of Joe Nemechek. He damaged Nemechek's car, but there was very little damage to any other car. Then later, as he tried desperately to stay on the lead lap, he made a nice save.
Boy.
Then the yellow came out.
They all got Ernie's number tonight.
Here's John Kernan.
Ernie Irvin has been on and off pit road several times, taking advantage of this caution. They've changed tires, made a track bar adjustment.
Robert Yates right there.
They had to tape up the left front nose of the car. When he got into someone out there, it kind of punched a hole in that, so they had to cover that hole up. Mark Reno's crew chief tells me everything else should be okay for Ernie Irvin, although he is at the back of the pack.
This year has not been as good for Ernie as last year in terms of points position at this juncture in the season. This year he's 14th in the points. Last year he was 7th. Well, from our Pennzoil copter cam, we can see this beautiful facility nestled in the hills of Northeast
talking about
Tennessee.
putting a dome
Bristol
over that.
Motor Speedway.
I know they have
the most incredible short tracks
playing
that you
baseball
can ever
games there
find.
now.
And all all this gear, folks.
Which I'm all in
Our
favor
suites,
for. Do
luxury
concerts,
suites.
everything.
High atop the grandstands.
Anything to keep our
I was
legacy
recuperating
tracks
from my back
alive.
surgery in April when we raced here. So this
Look
is
how
the first time
mountainous
that
it
I have
is
got
there.
a
You
chance
can't
to
get a
see
signal
the
to save your
suites and
life
everything
back
that
then.
I built in the last
Maybe
year.
it's
It
different
is
now, but
unbelievable. It really is.
you couldn't even get a radio signal.
Well, in April of 1996, 71,000
You couldn't get a
fans saw
seat
the race
either.
here. And look at the,
They had the
attendance
list. If you
tonight,
bought a seat one year, you were first option the following year, almost like a PSL. But now it's not the same.
And we would also like to point out that 20 years ago in 1977,
But also the tickets weren't that expensive either. They're like, in order for a family to go now, it's like your year planned vacation. That's it, you know. And many choose to go to the beach or something instead of a race.
we understand that Rusty Wallace had an air gun go bad during that pit stop.
I do have a heck of an idea for a concept that's not my idea. Actually, it's not a new idea. But the local short tracks, such as New Smyrna, near here, Volusia, up north, Langley, South Boston, Tri-County, all Hickory. The weekly races, they don't get anyone in the stands. And my idea for the regular weekly races is to sell a book of tickets. Like, I used to go to the Tortuga games, the AA, AAA baseball games, and I would buy a 10-ticket packet for, it was called Flex Passes. I'd buy 10 Flex Passes for $75. That's $7.50 a game. I can either go 10 times myself or take a family of 5 with me twice, or I can take my sister 5 times, or you know what I'm saying, or my son. It's Flex Passes, and they sell them for the baseball. Now, if they sold them for the racetracks, it would do them good, because, see, they're getting the money up front. Right? Money is up front. And it's a bargain for the fans, because it's $7.50 a race. Now you can upcharge $10 or $20 or something for big races or whatever, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it might save some of these short tracks like Hickory that gets no crowd, or, you know, something. Like, okay, when I used to go to the baseball games here in Daytona, on Monday was like all-you-can-eat Monday or something with the hot dogs or pizza or something. So on that day, they would upcharge $2 or $3 a ticket. So I would have to use my Flex Pass plus pay a little more, which is fine. And Thirsty Thursday's the same. I think it was dollar beers or something, and they charged $2 more on the Flex Pass, which is fine. You know, charge $10 more on a Governor's Cup race or something. You know, this weekend, tomorrow, Hickory's got a big race, pays $50,000 to win on the Cars Tour. Oh my God! I just hope, and the Pro Late pays big too. Oh my God! I think 10 or 20 for them. And I don't know if that was Dale that did all that, or who on the Cars Tour, but thank you guys to finally have decent payouts for these guys. Decent payouts really make a difference with these teams. But yeah, I think that would help get I would buy a Flex Pass, a book of tickets or whatever, ahead of time. They got all that revenue to use ahead of time.
Here he comes, and
it's, to me, I think it would get people in the bleachers. It would fill the bleachers.
Now the Pennzoil copter
and
look up top.
It's just a thought.
Yes, I think that he and Michael did make some contact as the 2 cars came off the corner.
But when I was a kid growing up, now I will say this, New Smyrna Speedway, I think this week has family night, or they just had family night, and it was like $5 a person. So that's pretty inexpensive. And that's like, I think, I want to say Volusia used to be $10 a seat. And they filled the bleachers every night. Now they jacked up the price again.
He's a lap down. Here comes Dale Jarrett trying to put Mast a lap down.
But yeah, flex passes would be a really good idea for these short tracks that have their weekly racing series. Because they've already paid it. I would probably buy 2 flex passes a year. Uh-oh, we're out. Well, my dad's car's out. We're not, though.
12 wins here at this facility for Darrell Waltrip.
I know my dad said Kenny crashed.
Tonight, and I don't think that Kenny Wallace
Lap 91.
$1,600 in Unocal bonus money.
I want to see the rundown. I think the 7 is still on the lead lap. That's a bummer.
And came down to the start-finish line ahead of Jeff Gordon. They were giving him the black flag. So I don't know if they take that away from him or what happens now.
Don't see the radiator's broken on Darrell Waltrip's car. The water.
There you go, buddy.
Yep.
See what happens.
Oh, Kenny hit the wall.
3 deep. I know that coming off of turn 4, and that just simply won't get it.
That's a major push.
Forced up into the outside wall and then turned sideways.
Here he comes off the corner.
Oh, he was hit.
And
Steve Grissom maybe touches him a
He
little
was
bit.
hit by Craven.
In the middle there.
Oh, and look at Earnhardt.
I can't totally fault him on that one himself, I guess.
Ned was talking about just a moment ago, Hut Strickland jumping to restart. Here's Hut Strickland, the A car. They come off the corner. And there we can see he clearly is in front of the 24. The 24 car is the leader of the race. He restarts the races at his discretion. And
another thing with the flex passes, it makes people go. You've already paid and you think, what am I going to do today? Oh, I got a flex pass. I'm going to go to the track and I'm going to buy burgers and I'm going to buy Cokes and I'm going to buy, you know, shirts, merch and all that because I didn't have to pay to get in. See, it's, I really think that's something to think about for the short tracks.
Of Bristol, and Dale had to come in taking advantage of this caution to pull the fender off the tire because if you run a lot of laps with that fender rubbing, probably blow the tire out. So this was a break for him.
That muffin.
We see the damage to the right side of Dale Earnhart's car. And then
He got dinged in the door too. Now, a ding like that, the worst thing about that is those inner crush panels keep the exhaust from going in your vehicle. And the driver can get exhaust fumes pretty good if they have the crush panels broke.
We're going to change some tires. So almost 100 laps completed here. We're getting close to it. 93 completed here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Jeff Gordon leading.
It was cool when some of the... Oh, yeah. The burgers and the hot dogs and fried dough and the smell at the racetrack of burned rubber and popcorn and fried dough or fries. It just, you never forget that. Berlin's a good racetrack.
David Green was the one on the inside trying to get his lap back that time, but Gordon beat him to the first turn.
Racetrack food just tastes better. I don't know why. It's like carnival food.
On Darrell's car. Darrell, you're okay? What happened out there?
It looked like when the 18 and the 3 got to running outside, I knew it was going to get a little touch and go because we could go outside. But
I gotta walk Stelly. I'll be back.
I don't know if they got into Kenny or what happened. Kenny got in the wall, came off the wall, hit me in the, I guess the right front, drove me into the inside wall. I'm all right, but the Parts America Chevrolet's in bad shape.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot of laps back here to fix it so Darrell can get back out. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Pole sitter Kenny Wallace sitting in the car.
Been an hour and a half. I gotta take a break and walk me Stelly. I'll be back.
What happened? Steve Grissom, I just run all over me. You know, it's a shame.
Oh, Grissom in the 41. My bad.
He just run along there. I was on the bottom of the racetrack. I don't know how he could have got any lower, got underneath me, but come off before and just got run into, put in the wall.
All right, the good news for Kenny Wallace. They're going to try to get the square knee forward back out. It is mostly cosmetic, as the oil cooler and water gauges and everything are intact.
We're watching Rusty Wallace move up into 9th position once again. By the way, they dedicated a grandstand to Darrell Waltrip this weekend, a 38,000-seat grandstand. Darrell Waltrip is at the moment behind the wall. He's only had one DNF this year and is currently 15th in points. There is Rusty Wallace and Geoff Bodine as they battle for the 8th spot.
And Rusty goes into 8th. Michael Walker just pulled the Sitco in the pits on the backstretch.
Here's Terry Labonte trying to pass Geoff Bodine too, and here comes Dick Trickle. He makes the pass.
So move Trickle back up into the top 10 now as Bodine falls to 11th.
Bill Elliott, the blue car. Tonight, the 94 is Elliott. For you fans, a special car. Is this a one-race deal with that night?
No, they will run it in a few other races this year. They're commemorating the Big Mac. They're going to run it in Richmond, New Hampshire, Loudon, Dover, and Martinsville. Jerry.
Exactly, Bob. The first as we got a car spinning on the backstretch. All right, the 95 car is spun. No caution flag. You get the car rider. That is Ed Barrier. And the 94 got through okay. That is the Mac Tonight logo that's on the Bill Elliott car number 94. The first, as you said, Bob, of 5 events, basically celebrating the fact that Bill Elliott is going to run this car at night here and in Richmond, Virginia. And by the way, they also have a special guest tonight in their pits. A guy by the name of Dan Broski, who is the nation's leader in Big Mac consumption. He has eaten one Big Mac a day for the past 17 consecutive years.
They estimate he's eaten 15,000 Big Macs. Benny, how do you think you compare to that?
Oh, man, I'm just a lightweight compared to that. We see Jeff Burton has moved into where? That 3rd spot?
Yep, past Jimmy Spencer last time around. Gets on the move again. Jeff Burton, remember, before that caution was very, very fast. In fact, he was, before the caution when they made their pit stops, he was leading the race. Lap traffic just got him a couple of seconds behind the leaders right now.
Jeff Burton has 9 top 10 finishes in the last 13 races.
Here's a 95 spin just a couple of laps ago. Comes off the corner, goes around, and Ted Musgrave just going by on the inside. Barrier does a great job, does about a 360, puts it in gear, continues on. You see all the cars stacking up as they try to avoid the accident that really never happened.
There is Jeff Gordon, the leader of the race. He's coming up on the 29 car of Jeff Green.
Green is running in 31st position, still on the lead lap.
Here's a Napa field summary. Watch for your favorite driver. The parentheses indicate starting position. They were 3 abreast there for a moment, and it looks like a Wally Dallenbach's got a problem.
Sure does. He's in very, very slow on the top of the racetrack. He will try to get down.
Savco team has had some good performances in recent races, but Robbie Gordon didn't make tonight's field, and now Wally Dallenbach has a problem.
And Joe Nemechek has already had a problem with getting involved in an accident.
Dallenbach's best finish here at Bristol was in the spring of '93. He finished 11th.
Terry Labonte and Dick Trickle goes by.
They're running 9th and 10th. There's Geoff Bodine. He's in 11th. I think it might be a tire going down on Wally Dallenbach's car.
Okie dokie, see you in a little bit, Michael.
So he continues to lose positions. Let's take a look at, there was some contact there with Hud Strickland, huh?
And look at this. Hud Strickland is 45 degrees right in front of the leaders. There's Jeff Gordon right behind him.
That's why we saw that 3 abreast there for a moment.
Yep.
Now Gordon does get by Jeff Green.
And here comes Terry Labonte moving up into the 8th position. And now Derek Copes hung out to dry.
And Trickle goes by Cope. We understand that maybe Wally in that incident over there, flat spotted his tires, thinking he might have one going down. That's why he rode around slow for a lap.
This is quite a long race. Let me see, we've got the top 10 listed. We're not in the top 10 there.
Didn't do a bad job. He's back in 24th, but the
Number 7 car I'm looking for.
He started back in 34th position, so he has gained 10 spots here in the first 119 laps.
Just got another one there from Bobby Hamilton.
It's strange, too, because on this restart, it looked like that Earnhardt had trouble. He was really struggling the first few laps, I guess, when the tires, he changed tires, and I guess with the low air pressure, the car is just not very good. When the air pressure started rising, then Earnhardt started going to the front.
There you get an idea of how much of an interval there is between Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon, the leader. Here's Rusty Wallace and Ken Schrader going at it, and that moves Rusty to 6th. So the 6-time winner here at Bristol, Rusty Wallace, continues to pick him off.
Staying pretty close with him is Terry Labonte. Now he has Ken Schrader between them.
The leader, Jeff Gordon, once again trying to go by Hut Strickland.
Whoa, gave him a little bump. Said, I'm still back here needing to go.
You got to be pretty darn accurate because you don't want to give them much of a bump or you're going to damage your own car, but you got to give them enough of a bump to let them know they're there.
Ricky Rudd, the Tide car, right in front of Hut Strickland, the winner of the Rickyard 400.
Not been a good weekend for Ricky Rudd. He started back in 39th position, taking a provisional to get in. He's running currently in 28th spot. Just about to go a lap down.
That's Strickland still trying to stay on that lead lap. There, Terry Labonte does get by Ken Schrader. Strickland comes right along. And Michael Walker is 4 laps down. Benny mentioned a moment ago that he's gone into pits in the backstretch. His car is very fast right now.
John Kernan has more from the backstretch pit.
Michael Waltrip had to pit twice over the last few laps, 2 separate times for flat tires. And that was under the green. That's why he's lost laps. And they are not quite sure why he's cutting down tires. They think maybe something might be rubbing and in his tires. So you want to keep an eye on him. They pulled the fingers out, but they did have a problem with cutting down a couple of tires.
As you can see on the scoring pylon there, Mark Martin has passed his teammate, Jeff Burton, and is moving into 3rd, and he is moving in on the leaders.
And we also saw Dale Earnhardt pressing hard there. He's in 23rd. John Kernan has more on Earnhardt.
Earnhardt had been complaining before the last few rounds of pit stops that the car was tight. They made air pressure adjustments, pulled the rubber out.
Dale's car's not handling too well either. You notice he's having to take it hard to the wall, but he can't wrap too well there. But he's doing the best he can.
About the 23rd spot, but the car looks pretty good.
Yep, he's got the run there, but not enough.
Ricky Craven there.
Looked like he was trying to play the momentum as much as he could.
Ricky Rudd and Chad Little both trying to stay in the lead lap.
And they've been running side by side for about 2 laps, Benny, and Jeff Gordon has nowhere to go.
That's another thing. Gravity helps you a lot, especially at a track like Bristol. You always got to try to be driving downhill as much as possible. So do your moving up mid, like how Gordon just did when the track is relatively flat.
Ricky Rudd goes up the hill, lets the leaders go by.
Because you want to be able to get the run down the hill. Gravity is a good tool as well to keep in momentum.
And Derek Cope. Piece of debris on the 36 car fell off someone else's car. He's caught it and dragging it around and is sparking on the racetrack.
He's back in 11th position.
Wow, look at that piece.
Yeah.
Might look like a
Okay, we're running really well now. We've come out of this last pit stop with a little bit more gusto. We're up to 10th. It's not going to go well for us, though. This is when the team kind of management, the old Alan Kowicki team, is now in its, I think, third or fourth year since they lost Alan. Lost Alan in 93, and this is 97, so it's the fourth year. And budget-wise, I believe that Bodine was selling half the team to Jim Matei or something like that. There was a new owner coming in. And Pat Tryson was the crew chief. Tim Brewer was the team manager. And I guess Tim Brewer and Pat Tryson have a kerfuffle or a disagreement on pit road on a pit stop. And I believe he was running up front like this right now. And he ends up losing laps under a green flag pit stop, and a caution comes out, which you can't help. But the fingers started pointing, because anytime a team mid-season is in trouble, that happens. When a team is kind of mid-season woes, everybody's tired, everybody's burnt out. The car is fast right now. Having some hope here. We're going to run good. We're going to finish good. And then you just get caught in the pits when a caution comes out. Green flag stops. You have your own plan. And Pat was making the calls then. And apparently Brewer yelled at him. And Brewer isn't always the tactfulest person. So I think that's part of this race, because this is the reason I'm playing this one is I'm trying to get a checkpoint in history. I think this is the race I was at for fun, and then the next race I will score, because, like I said, Tryson will lead that team if this is the race I'm thinking.
And Dahlin back slows on the backstretch again. You can see he's running there in 33rd position, but drops down off the banking and goes to the apron of the racetrack.
Look at the rundown here. Petty's off, Nemechek fell off. I think Wallace is back out a few laps down.
He pits here on the front stretch.
We're running P9.
Those running up front come off of corner number 2.
Next car to go a lap down will be Bobby Hamilton. He is in
See on regular TV, you get to watch the leader, and they talk about all that. But oh, another thing. Hi, Jack. How are ya? I took a break and walked the puppy dog. Let me come back up here.
NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, the folks at Goodies, of course, they're responsible for the race here tonight.
And look at the incredible record that Geoff Gordon has on short tracks. 12 races.
There I am.
Hi. 50% of them, and has never been lower than 4th.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm doing okay. Trying to look at these old races and spark some memories, the history memories. I was at this race.
Now is close to being lapped again.
Because I remember in my mind seeing a radio and a headset on the pit wall or on a pit box or something, thinking, well, that's odd, because no one ever took their headset off during a race. But then come to find out, Pat Tryson had walked and he called it quits for the team. But he might have gone somewhere else, too. I think he showed up somewhere else pretty quickly. But Tim Brewer was hired after the Matei merger, or about that same time. I know Geoff Bodine talks about a lot of that in his interviews about the time when he got another team owner in. I think financially they just had to. He kept on mode. Oh, you had double vision? Oh, good. I'm glad nothing serious. My son if you didn't know, if you look on my about part, there's a photograph of my son's brain tumor now. It's all shrunk down, but he was having vision problems because of a tumor behind his eyes. And they removed most of it in 2021, and we're following up on a lot of that now. He had a recent CAT scan. They're seeing if he got to go see a surgeon at Mayo. They were told he needs to talk with a surgeon to make sure everything's where it should be, not growing too fast. Now, they are known to grow back a little bit. But yeah, that was causing him some vision problems. But it wasn't double. It was gone, like missing. Like, he has no vision from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in his right eye. And damage to the ocular nerve from that tumor was pressing on it was too big. But they took most of it out. And whatever's left is whatever's in the picture I have on my YouTube. But yeah, he's waiting on an email. I got an email from Mayo Clinic that said it would be about 6 months before he knows if anything comes of it. If he will probably feel a lot better if he doesn't have to have surgery. Put it that way. As long as it's staying put. The doctor thought he got the root. I get double vision a little bit, or Ripley vision, because I'm pre-diabetic. Now, I got my doctor appointment next week. Yeah. The 16th, whenever that is, or the 12th. I gotta look it up. But they came and interviewed me this morning about that on the phone, so. Told them. And the Irvin's in. Oh, blowed up.
I just talked to his crew. They said
everything's going
fine, but now Spencer sits on pit road with the hood up during the engine
Jimmy
compartment.
Spencer, too. That's Travis Carter's car. He also, the year 95, my ex worked on the Morosa car. Well, he was transporter driver for the Morosa car. He didn't work on the cars. My dad worked on the car. I mean, he was good for handing them pools and tape and such. Y'all, if you don't know me by now, I'm like extremely ADD, so I think of many things at the same time. So I jump topics a lot, and people that know me just deal with it. There's Robert Yates there in the black shirt. They're all the same alma mater my dad was in, you know. My dad, Earnhardt, Yates, all knew each other pretty good. Dale Earnhardt
Spencer led 11 laps of this race,
sponsored Joe Nemechek a few races with his Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet.
In August of 90 and won his first pole here in April of 1990. The leader at the
I know Dale was always a hard-charging driver, but I don't ever look at him as being a dirty driver. I know he was a tough driver and intimidating, of course. That fit him well, but I don't think he was a dirty driver. He was more of a, if he wrecked you, it was a oops.
5,000 people strong here tonight watching the Goodies Headache Powder 500.
Or it was joking with you. A lot of times he would mess with drivers and poke them around a little bit just for fun.
Awesome facility, no question about
and
it. And
then it'd be whoops.
Books here as Jeff Gordon continues to lead and is in heavy traffic. Bill Elliott is about to be lapped. He's in 17th position, and in 16th spot is Dale
I kind of
Earnhardt.
think that I do see a lot of Carson's Hocevar style in Dale, old Dale. Like if you look at the 1980s Dale and stuff, when he didn't quite manage that where you land on a run. And that's the only thing like is going to just take time for people like Carson or people like Ross. They had learned to control that run. It just comes with seat time. Look how that 94 pops, that color and everything. That blue under the light, that midnight blue. I know it looks black, but it was really midnight blue. It was so pretty. It really was so pretty in person. You got to remember, like, these Bristols under the night lights were kind of new then. And the Charlotte under the lights, and they really went all out on those night paint jobs to make them glow.
Winner last week at Michigan.
Jeremy Mayfield, a Kmart car, now lap down.
So there are 15 cars now on the
My watch is saying I need to get my 250 steps in. I must not have made it with the puppy walk.
24.88.6.
I'm still training with the Fitbit. I'm doing laps. My laps in the pool, like the short distance, back and forth. I do about 20 or 30, depending on how I feel. I had not felt good this week. Like I said, I've been so tired, and I've been wanting to stream. And I wanted to stream Vegas because my dad said he went to Vegas with the 81 car too. But I don't find a Vegas race, so I'm thinking, is he thinking Phoenix? Or is he thinking... I don't know. It wasn't Sonoma. So I'm thinking, like, if he thinks Vegas, he's thinking desert, so I'm thinking Phoenix. But that would have been a race I was at as well. It's hotter than that. What are they? Hotter than Hades. It was the worst race for heat I had ever been to in my life. Was Phoenix. That 1 year, it was. I think I've spoke about that before. Walking from the track to the car, dragging my suitcase on wheels through the sand, and they had the competitors parked so far away. And I kept thinking, just don't pass out, walking back to the van. Because they would have left me on the side of the street, swear to God. They would have left me on the side of the street. That was not a good weekend.
Now a battle for second position as Mark Martin.
Because they had left me for dinner. They had left me for the racetrack, ride to the track in the morning. And not because I was late. They just told me the wrong times, and I was a half hour early, and they still left me because they left at 4:30, told me 5:30. I was there at 5. And then Tim Brewer chewed their asses for leaving me. Because I had to ride to the track with Tim and his wife. But that's why I say that team, everyone was so self-centered that they would have left me dead on the side of the road if I passed out. I just kept saying, don't pass out, don't pass out, don't pass out.
Jeff Burton got caught up in that heavy traffic that we saw the leaders go through, and he didn't get through it quite as good as the others.
So the field summary.
Jeff Gordon, folks, trying to get
Apparently, they have gone green for quite a while.
Thought he was going to get it done, but didn't. Earnhardt again using that high line, but it's working for him.
Might be coming up on green flag stop soon.
And traffic is certainly no problem for him.
Passes 10 Musgrave.
He's just running 2 lanes higher than everybody else.
The cars that back then were listed as off are in the pits doing repair and haven't actually told NASCAR that they're out. Once they tell them they're out, they'll change it from off to out. Now we're running P5, okay? This is like getting optimistic now. We're in P5. 301 laps to go. And if it goes green and goes green and goes green and you pit early, you're way ahead of everyone else, because right now if everyone's running a certain speed, you can pit, get fresh tires, and gain a couple seconds on the track. Okay, see, green flag stops the start now at lap 300. Bill Elliott's in. See how pretty that is with all the little stars? And it had depth, see, because they got the shadowing, and it just looked like meaty and bright in person.
So Bill Elliott rolls back onto the racetrack. Staying on the apron until the car gains some speed, then pulling up onto concrete.
I tell you what, those new tires will help, because the 29 car, Jeff Green, just passed Jeff Gordon, the leader, and just passed Dale Earnhardt with those fresh tires.
The Day Glow 24 and stuff. That was all special paint for nighttime. Of course, DuPont had a kind of an in on the paint deal, you know. We didn't use wraps then. We had decals, but the base was painted.
Did just come out of the pits not long ago. He was 4 laps down. He's just 3 now. He's past Jeff Gordon. There's Sterling Marlin. They're coming up on. Sterling is running in the 13th position.
Green flag pit stops are about to happen. Bill Elliott has made one, and everybody else will need one before long. So we'll
we're going to go to commercial. Bodine, we started 15th. We're running 5th. Everybody's up, like, woohoo! Finally a good finish. And for Jim Mattei, the new owner. And it was like, it'll all go to hell so quick. But it worked out good for me because I got a job.
Battle for the championship with Burton and with Gordon rather, and here's how Mark went into the lead.
Comes off the second corner. Jeff Gordon goes up the hill. Mark just turned under and accelerated by.
See, he let him by so he wouldn't lose a spot. If he battled with him, then Jimmy would have got him too.
Got him a chassis adjustment, changing 4 tires.
Oh, Jeremy in the came up. That was early. He was in the RCA the year before. In '96, I flew on Jeremy's plane to Talladega.
He stays under the speed limit.
My ex had arranged for that ride to the track, and I rode back in the hauler. Okay, here's our crew. My ex is the one on above the queue with the tire in his hand. And he's handing it over. And then he'll grab the other. And he's doing the scrubbing. Oh no, the guy doing the scrubbing was the older guy. My bad. I think Geoff's there. There was an older guy that was always there, and I don't know him personally. I just know what he looked like.
And a tough break for Jeff Bodine, being in the pits on the jack.
Now, when my ex... Oh, look at this. See this? This is going to be where our own personal team had to come apart.
This is what happened up in the 3rd and 4th turn areas.
There we see Dick Trickle in the 36 car, and once again, the 36 bumped him going to the corner, and
Derek Cope screwed us. But I'm telling you, man, this is the screaming that started in the pits, and the whole thing was not pretty. You should not. That stuff should happen in a Monday morning meeting, just saying, because it doesn't give racing good vibes. But it happens, you know. And look, you got a team that's struggling. They just get a brand new half owner, trying to impress the new people.
Pit road is open. Here come those on the lead lap.
And you in the top 5, you pit, and then the caution comes out. And it's not a thing you can do about it. It's the bad luck that happens. But the team had to come apart in the pits over that. And
so they'll make a chassis adjustment on the right side. Now they come around, loosen the lugs on the left side.
like I said, it worked out good for me. I got a job scoring because the crew chief that quit, his wife was this guy. Right place, right time, opportune hits. But you gotta be in there to be in the game, you know what I mean? Like,
Back straightaway. It'll be a 4-tire change for Grissom. The car is running
I wouldn't have got hired off myself. And it took an investment. I had a NASCAR pit license that I had to buy every year for $1,200. Oh, I'm sure it's wicked bad now. I can't even imagine what a NASCAR license is nowadays.
And there was two tripling right in front of me, nails the gas. Man, am I glad I got by that.
Now from the
I know NASCAR
right here, you're gonna see the
Corporation is hiring. They have a big hiring thing today at the track for the race coming up.
And there was a little contact
like
there
for a
between,
gazillion
Dale
positions. They had a hiring event today.
Down to John Kernan again.
Well, Bob, we told you a little bit earlier.
Might be going on right now at 10 to 2 or something right now in Daytona.
Actually, when they pulled the radiator out, this is what they found. This piece of pipe went through, punctured the radiator. Ernie lost all the water.
Jesus.
They're currently still behind the wall trying
Yeah,
to get the car
if you
fixed to
lose
see if
all
they
your
can get
water,
back out there, but there may have been too much
those
damage done to
engines
the
are
engine.
so
Ernie Irvin's night may be
touchy.
over.
They've got to have their coolants.
Off the head down to the exhaust pipe, tailpipe.
There's the overhead view of Bristol Motor Speedway, courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. Under caution with 220 of the 500 laps completed. Back in just a moment. Most recent caution came out on lap 216. Ned?
Dick Trickle gets tapped from the
The
rear
lap-
right there, and around, no,
The
right
lap
there is when he
heard
gets
around
tapped
the
second time,
world
and around he goes,
in the
right in
7th
front of the
pit.
leaders.
Like the shot heard
And
around the
caution
world.
comes out. Trickle does not get hit.
The
Again, but he does
revolution.
go a lap down.
And we are about to go green again. Jeff Gordon won the race out of the pits and is at the front of the field once again with Jarrett second, then Martin.
Ready. Go, 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 go.
Jeff Bodine, who was in the pits when this caution came out, is a lap down.
Well, I think that he'll be 2 laps down when we come back across the start-finish line. We're going to try to get one of those back here right now.
I saw smoke in the back of the field. I don't know if someone was just burning off a right rear or hitting the brakes or what, but something looked awry back.
Fought so hard to stay on the lead lap, and it has paid off.
3/4 of the way back there for a minute.
John Kernan has an update on Dale.
Bob, on this pit stop, they took advantage to make a chassis adjustment, a half turn in the left rear, tightening the car up. And then Earnhardt, sitting here on the back stretch, Bodine was sitting on the front. He still managed to beat him to the line down here as they exit the back stretch. That's why Dale Earnhardt has moved up into the top 10. But a great pit stop for them back here. Where they were making an adjustment.
You can hear the guy on pit road talking, and you can barely hear him. You can't even hear the person like this close to you. You can't hear the pit guys. You have to shout in someone's ear, and it hurts because your ears are like you got earplugs in and a headset on, and people have to shout in your ear for you to hear them speak during the race. That's no joke. Like Bristol was bell ringing deafness.
Well, Bob, he actually made 3 pit stops during that caution fight. He came in the first time to take a rubber out and actually got a lap back up on the field, and NASCAR caught him back in and got their lap back that he had taken on that quick stop and go to pull the rubber.
Field summary. Look, we went from 5th.
And now he is back on the racetrack.
Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4. I bet we're 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. 2 laps down. Told you they were screaming. Oh my God. It was just bad luck, and it was like.
Cars currently on the racetrack and laps behind.
Jeff Gordon has led 100.
And then to top it off,
Dale Jarrett has led 28.
Pat will get on live TV.
Is moving up on the clinching the 5 extra points for leading the most laps.
I've seen Tim Brewer in a lot of interviews and stuff like that, and he is like straight up
Jeff Gordon's average finish was 23rd.
speaks his mind. I have always thought he was like an awesome person. Him and his wife like treated me so good. But he spoke his mind, and he could rub a team member. You just had to have thick skin if Tim was your boss, but he knew his stuff.
What was that, 5 mile per hour?
He knew his stuff.
Yeah, what he was running there earlier, 110, 11 before.
Still over 115.
Jarrett trying the
He's
outside
about
now.
to lose another lap. See, this is like, it all goes bad. All goes bad.
Caution comes out for the 6th time.
Ah! And the caution comes out again, and he just lost another lap. We're like, are they going to let him race back? I think they used to race back then.
Get one of his 2 laps back. It's the 6th caution of the evening.
One of his 2 laps.
Lap number 238. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
So I know, anyway, I'm going to kind of fast forward through some of this because this is a long race.
ESPN Speed World tonight live at
No, I'm not going to fast forward because they're going to have lots of good info. This is a really good era, and I don't, even though it's going to be like a 4-hour race, I still like to put all the pieces together, you know, and the history part.
Probably call the McDonald's in your neighborhood my McDonald's. We are still under caution here at Bristol Motor Speedway because of debris on the racetrack, and there you get an overhead look once again of this huge facility. 125,000 people now seated, and there we zoom into the suites that have been built down between turns 3 and 4. Just as the caution came out, we were about to mention Rusty Wallace, who had closed up on
I'm going to be
Mark
right
Martin
back,
and in a
finish
strong
my break.
4th position in the last 35 short track races. He has 13 wins, has finished either 1st or 2nd in 60% of the events, and his average finish 5th. Bill Weber.
And in happy hour here, Rusty was thrilled with his car. We get the 1-to-go signal, but his car got too tight, as you'll recall, before that last pit stop. They made an air pressure adjustment. 1 pound in the right front, 1 pound out of the right rear, 19.2 seconds. Rusty Wallace is flying. Good pit stop for track position to John Kernan.
Dale Earnhardt was running in the 10th position. There were only 11 cars on the lead lap, so he came down pit road, took on 4 tires, took a little pressure out of the left rear tire before he was able to pit. Dale said the car was better, but it was still tight in the center of the turn. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
All right, back here in the Sterling Marlin pit a moment ago, Larry McClure very, very upset. He was told that they had gotten a lap ahead of the field. That's why they were brought back in and held, and now they're being shown a lap down. And on that pit stop a moment ago, they were held at the end of pit road, so now they are 2 laps down. So McClure trying to plead his case as we go back to green flag racing.
Green comes out on lap 244. Slides up the hill and loses the lead, and there he spins. And hits the inside wall hard, and so does Jeremy Mayfield. No caution. Now the caution's out.
They're sitting on the racetrack back there.
Well, I wonder if something happened to Gordon's car before that spin, because he went up the hill, and
I would guess there's some contact between him and Geoff Bodine. I haven't seen it yet or not yet, but we see some damage to the right rear.
There's a lot of
What the heck happened? Step out for a minute, grab
This is what a short track can do to a
What
points lead. And it
the-
looks like that Geoff
He
is going
looks
behind
screwed
the wall
up.
to make
Oh
the
no,
repair.
he's behind the wall. He's done.
I think that the rear
Broke the
housing-
trailing arms.
rear housing on that
Brand new rear end.
Tough.
That's in bad shape.
Next Sunday, Jeff Gordon goes for $1 million at Darlington. The Winston million up for grabs. 99
You
points were
see
all
that guy
separated Jeff
waving his
Gordon
arm?
and second
That's
place
what your
Mark
drivers
Martin
need.
coming
Now,
into
I don't
this
know if
event.
y'all have
Now
personal
Jeff is
coaches.
behind
You
the
do,
wall, and
probably.
Mark Martin
But
is
you got to have that one
running in
PR
second
guy that keeps the press off you for at least till you get that adrenaline 5 minutes out of your system so that you don't say anything stupid on the TV. And they were extremely protective of the drivers back then, which gave them kind of an oh God. That's not when you, that's when you say, surround your driver after the race, make sure no one comes and beats his ass. Oh, geez, it wasn't even. Okay, we had a little to do with that.
That was a front stretch, wasn't it?
No, that was second quarter.
I'm still in the chat. I'm still finishing up a few things. I'll be right there. I'm still sitting here watching.
Onboard camera.
Well, he didn't stay off the gas long.
He sure did. There's the contact that sends Jeff and Jeremy.
And watch this. Watch it. Oh, heavy contact with that right rear on the 24.
Right on that right rear hitting that wall.
And another angle from the copter cam.
Same result.
Jerry's with Jeff.
All right, Jeff Gordon has climbed out of the DuPont Chevrolet. And Jeffrey, first of all, what happened out there?
Well, you know, it's typical Bristol. It's just the way it goes with lap cars. They're fighting so hard to get back on the lead lap. And, you know, first of 7 tried to knock me out. And then I don't know if I come down on him. He came into me. What happened? I got hit, you know, off of 2. I don't know who it was. But it's pretty bad. So it's unfortunate. You know, you think the best place to be is up front, and it normally is, except on those restarts. Those guys are wild.
How bad is the car? I heard a lot of chatter on the radio with Ray Evernham and the guys. How bad is it hurt? Is the rear end housing?
It's hurt bad. I mean, it's pretty hard to wreck at this place and not hurt it bad. And, you know, I tried to keep it out of the inside wall. I knew it was going to be pretty tough to do that, but I just got a quick glance, and, you know, right rear's moved over pretty bad in it, so we're probably going to need some trailing arms, and I think I might have got the right front a little bit, too.
All right, Jeff Gordon out of the DuPont Chevrolet as we check in with Bill Weber.
And Jerry, Jeff Bodine has come in twice, got right side tires, got some sheet metal pulled away, came in, got left side tires, put a little more sheet metal away, so picked up a lap there, got his 4 tires and fuel. He's been pretty quick most of the night, and a little bad luck and maybe a little good luck coming his way. We'll have to wait and see what happens here down the stretch.
So the cross flags are being shown. We are at the halfway point of this Goodies Headache Powder 500 here at Bristol. And now we turn our attention a little bit more toward the point situation. If points were awarded right now, Jeff Gordon would have a 13-point, make that a 13-point advantage on Mark Martin.
But every lap that
Go, 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 go.
more cars passing him while he's sitting in the garage.
So Dale Jarrett is the leader at the halfway point.
Boy, look at Rusty Bowman.
The leader at halfway has won 6 of the 21 races so far in the 97 NASCAR Winston Cup season. Battle is for second spot. Rusty Wallace running third, has 9 top 10s in the last 10 races here at Bristol. And now Mark Martin has gone into the points lead.
The points were awarded right now. But they aren't, so you never know what might happen to the end of the race.
We got almost 250 more laps to decide what happens here tonight. Terry Punch.
You heard Geoff Gordon tell you about he thinks the trailing arm may have been bent. Well, let me show you. This is the right rear trailing arm that's ordinarily fairly straight. He just came out from under the 24 car, completely bowed. This little bucket here is where the rear spring sits. Obviously, severe damage to the right rear of the car. They're trying to replace the trailing arm, and they are hoping the rear end is going to be okay so they can get Geoff out as quickly as possible.
But meanwhile, the laps click off. He might also tell you that the 37 car of Jeremy Mayfield.
Oh, my goodness, wrong through.
Big crash of cars.
Are we kidding? What the hell? Stop. Everybody freaking stop.
And the track looks to be blocked. Well, there is one lane, and cars are going by there.
Ugh, we bodine's it.
There's Brett Bodine's involved.
Bobby Hamilton, Derek Cope.
Hutch Strickland gets going. Bobby Hamilton gets going again.
Now there appears to be a fire in the 96 car.
It's over by the brake master cylinder on the car. Derek Cope, Skittles' car is involved.
That's not cool. God. Fire.
The race has been red flagged.
All that burning plastic and
What happened?
rubber. And God, we got cancer like crazy from this.
Oh, the car. There's the car that's
Oh my
upside
God.
down.
That's Cope.
Not yet. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Now that was a wreck.
And another car
Wow.
sliding behind.
You ever see David Green, the cat car, coming off the corner, and Derek Cope loses control. He goes up, slams in the 96 car, hit hard blow to the wall. He gets up on his roof, slides down the racetrack, and somewhere about here it's going to go back on its wheels. There it goes over and on its wheels.
Ow.
Listen and watch. So now the rescue crew is there at David Green's car.
I'm taking the windshield out.
It was that coming back down that jars their back wicked, because when you have an initial impact, your seatbelts loosen, like kind of compress.
Settled down. Apparently, all the water has come out of the car.
And then when you have your secondary impact, that's usually the one that causes the illness, because you're not, because of just the fluid of your body, it loosens your seatbelt.
Right now,
especially when you get jerked up high and then drop like that. That's just wicked on your spine.
Well, the cars, of course, stopped where they were on the racetrack.
You feel 3
when the red
inches
came
shorter,
out.
really. It's wicked.
Bill Elliott was one of those that drove through the crash. Here's his in-car camera.
Now, under the red flag, people are working on their cars in the pits. They are supposed to stop, like their NASCAR officials standing there with them, and they say,
Major damage.
red flag, you got to stop, but you can still gather up your tools or whatever you're going to need. But you just can't touch the car.
Into the outside retaining wall, David Green.
Back when they didn't have a limit, now I think they lifted the limit again, which is great.
I believe Earnhardt hit the 11 car. It looked like that he might have hit him as he went through there.
Now, once again, the 36 car, folks, stop it right there. If we could let it roll just inch forward. The 36 car, this guy, watch as he loses control. Now, as he comes off the corner, he saves the car. He goes up, slams that 96 car, and boom, right in the outside retaining wall goes David Green. And there we see, you're right, Ned, the 3 cars running in the back of Brett Bodine.
Michael Walter spins down to the inside.
96 cars sliding.
That's what real race cars looked like underneath.
About the time it stops,
by the way,
it's going to go back
they got
on
trailing arms.
Flip over and land on his wheels.
Yes, I'm being snarky.
So they continue to work down at the David Green car. There was work going on the 24 car, which had pulled in, of course, several laps ago, and they have informed the crew that they should stop work on that car also.
That's one advantage because they're able to get their thoughts together now and get all the parts together that they'll need on the 24 car when they go back to work, make a better job of it.
But NASCAR rules do not allow you to work on a car during red flag conditions.
Even if you have come in several laps before. So that's why the work has been stopped on Jeff Gordon's car. Well, we'll take a break here. We are under a red at the end of 258 laps because of a crash involving, among others, David Green. Back at Bristol Motor Speedway and the Goodies Headache Powder 500, which has been stopped because of a crash here on the main straightaway. Here's Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, the good news is down here that the safety crews were on the scene immediately, and they were talking to David Green a moment ago, and now they have been able to get David Green up out of the car, sitting there on the edge of the door there. They have put a cervical collar around his neck that is precautionary. That kind of tumble, that kind of rollover, they put a C collar on a cervical collar to protect his neck. Obviously very, very groggy, but Sammy Johns, who's the crew chief for David Green in the Caterpillar car, had gone out a moment ago and actually spoken to David, so that's the best news. He was awake and alert, sitting there on the side of the car. He will be placed in an ambulance. So they have a very, very good service here from Bristol.
I don't remember if David Green got a spinal injury from that, but they are taking great care because of that type of an impact.
Of the rollover and the tumble, they will take him to a hospital nearby for precautionary x-rays.
Well, let's take a look at the crash again and analyze what happened.
Okay, as they come off the turn 4, you see the 36 car down on the inside, and I think right here, I think the 21 car or Michael Waltrip maybe taps the 36. Let's roll it forward now, and you see he's a little bit crossways, and all of a sudden he just shoots right back up into David Green. So that's an indication.
It appears the 36 lit up for some reason because the 21 hit him, but it also, as looking at the 3, they were all faster than the 36 for some reason, either a misshift or something happened there. That the 36 was running about 10 miles an hour slower than the guys coming upon him. So that is a checkup that should have happened but didn't.
Yeah, a cat is a mess, I'll tell you that. But thank goodness David is awake and alert on his way to be checked over. But preliminary indications are that he was not seriously injured in this crash.
See that initial right front impact and then landing down, you know, with loose belts. Not
should be going back to green now before too much longer.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway on 258. Caution flag. Spectacular crash off turn.
I'm going to just run a bunch of ads just to get them out of the way so that we don't have to, I can smooth them later.
Down the racetrack when the car comes to a halt, back on its tires and wheels. David Green has been taken from the car on his way to the
Oh, it says I'm on a cooldown. It says run an ad.
Bristol Motor Speedway gobbles up another car.
Okay. Starts
and it also
12
has
minutes.
gobbled up our points leader, or the points leader coming into
I guess I did
this
run a
event,
bunch
Jeff
that I didn't
Gordon,
have to
who
worry
is still
about.
behind
On the cautions
ball, Jerry.
and cleanups and stuff, I try to run them if I can so I don't have to run them during the race.
How bad is it?
I can snooze them.
You know, it's definitely not going to be competitive, Jerry. We're just going
And I also try to only run the 30-second ads because my attention span, if I'm watching something, the minute and a half is just like an eternity for me because I'm so OCD. But I try to be like at least just run the 30-second. You can cringe and bear with it. I used to buy the turbo, and if you buy the turbo, that's great. I just haven't lately. It's not in the budget for yet, but we'll see what's going down. I'm going to stream more, and then maybe it will be in the budget.
I think I'm more disheartened that I just can't believe that people won't use their heads. You know, like that bothers me more than anything.
I've been doing a lot of writing in the book.
But it really ain't the racetrack.
All right, Ray Evernham, he's had a tough week already because of a difficult week. In 2 days, he turns 40.
I'm using an app called Substack because it's so easy to write and edit and all of that.
So Jeff Gordon
I've
sits
done
behind the
5
wall.
chapters, maybe
Currently
6.
shown in the 34th position.
Got to put on
And Dale
Substack,
Earnhardt,
and my
as
dad
we
can
have
read them and
documented,
edit
got some
them and
damage
such like that. But
from
it's
that incident with
after I
David
get all
Green.
that
John?
text on Substack, I'll be able to copy and paste it into a manuscript, and we'll be good to go. When I come back on, I'll explain what's going on in
And
October.
Richard Childress talking over with the officials to see if it was okay for Dale to back up on the racetrack so he could come directly down pit road. Apparently, they've been given the okay for that. Earnhardt has positioned himself that way. However, he cannot move forward until the order is given to refire the engines and the red changes to a yellow flag condition.
Like I said, I had a slight virus at the beginning of the week, and it's still kind of catching up with me now and then.
Until that is completed, we will not be able to restart.
There's
That's a
first,
pretty
second,
picture.
and third right there. Actually, first, third, and second. Jarrett, the leader. Mark Martin second, and Rusty Wallace in third position. Well, tomorrow on ABC Sports at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Pacific, the Kickoff Classic, Wisconsin and Syracuse from East Rutherford, New Jersey. We'll get an early look at 2 Heisman hopefuls, Ron Dane of Wisconsin and Syracuse quarterback Donovan McNabb. That's at 2 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow on ABC Sports, the College Kickoff Classic, Wisconsin against Syracuse. 9 cars in all were involved in that crash that has taken several behind the wall. I'll take a break and be right back to Bristol Motor Speedway. Race still under red here at Bristol. The Goodies Headache Powder 500. NASCAR Online at www.nascar.com features the Speed Post, which taps into the live NASCAR timing and scoring and allows you to run an application that constantly tracks the running order of the race. Another feature, the Finish Line Speed Shot, shows you a display of the top 5 cars as they cross the finish line. All this on NASCAR Online, www.nascar.com.
You know, I read the other day that NASCAR Online is one of the top 10 hits in the world.
Is that right?
Yeah. In the world.
Okay, I'm back. Let me get
Well, our man of the race, the true value man of the race, Mark Martin, because of his win last weekend at Michigan, his 3rd win of the season, 12th top 5 finish in 21 races this year. True Value is donating $1,000 to Mark's favorite charity, which is the Motor Racing Outreach, the organization that provides spiritual support to drivers, crews, and families as they travel every week.
I was very familiar with Motor
Okay,
Race.
we're down here outside the infield care center.
Used to attend their
With
services
David Green
on
has just
Sundays,
left this area. They'll go counter race here and take David outside the track to an area hospital.
which was really
Dr.
cool.
Punch spoke about. I talked to David's wife, Diane. She said he's in pretty good shape. Has a little right shoulder pain and a bump on his head. But other than that,
Hey,
he's in
Pops.
pretty good spirits.
How you
so
doing?
Ken has 9 lives, and David's doing okay right now. They'll have a further update from the hospital a little later on. Let's go down pit road to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Bill, in 1989, Rusty Wallace cut a tire up in turn 4 and somersaulted 6 times side to side and then tumbled twice end over end. When he came to rest, the roof and the upper part of the car had crushed down in on top of the driver, and we had trouble getting to Rusty and getting an airway so we could get him breathing again. Not so tonight. NASCAR learned from that incident. Let me show you. This is the A-pillar here on David Green's car. See this support right here? NASCAR had this support put in the cars about 3 or 4 years ago to keep the A-pillar from coming down in just such a rollover to crush in on the driver. The A-pillar was crunched, but this support right here stayed nice and strong. Likewise, the C-pillar, this one right here, is upright. It's been reinforced from behind. So look inside the cockpit where David was sitting. It is completely intact. The seat is intact. Yeah, the head brace is slightly bent, but this compartment here with the roll cage completely protected the driver. No more roof coming down to push the driver's head down and compromise the airway. And that's why David Green was able to be awake when the safety crew got there.
Good report, Jerry. And
So how
once
did that-
again, here's the incident.
How did that happen? Just like this. Watch this. I mean, in 1 second, he goes from a good, clean race
Probably
car
should fast forward this.
to
They've
jump.
played this
Boom,
about
back on his
20
wheels, and
times.
as we were glad to report, David Green
All right,
is
let's fast forward
okay.
till we're yell again.
Of
There
course,
we go.
with Dale Jarrett. In his first 17 races here, he only had 1 top
Probably
5,
missed a
5
lot of
top
good
10s,
stuff,
and
but-
averaged 20th for a finish. But look, in his last 5 races, how he has improved that and has 5 straight top 6 finishes here at this facility.
Took him a little longer to learn, though, than it did Jeff.
It did Jeff Gordon. Dale is the leader
Oh,
of the
they did a
race
track
as we are
fast.
lining the cars up.
Okay. Not too much.
The pit road is still closed, so we don't know if they'll make pit stops or not when it's open. They're running very slow on the track. The pace car is, because they're sweeping the track.
Yeah, pit road was closed because the wreck happened right at
Jerry,
the
what's going to happen
beginning
here on
of
pit
it.
road?
Well, Bob, NASCAR just told the teams that as a safety move, they're going to go ahead and blow the whole racetrack off prior to opening pit road. And the reason for that would be obvious, that if there is debris on the racetrack, why not go ahead and blow it off first, then let people come in and put fresh tires on, as opposed to coming in and changing tires and going back out and possibly running over debris when the track had not been cleaned as of yet. As Sterling Marlin does come down pit road, though, but he had to.
This was 1997 Bristol.
Jerry, Dale Earnhart's crew
It was the night race, the second one, and I was there, and my ex was working on the 7 team. He was the transporter driver. He had always worked in CDL stuff.
Yeah, you're right, John. He is 3 laps down in 24th position. The only driver who has been running at the finish in the last 34 races. No DNFs. That's the good part of his season. The bad part, only 3 top 5 finishes this season. And the real ugly part is that he is still in this winless streak, which right now is at 48 events.
Jesus. But he was the only driver running after 31 races, and that's pretty
So they
massively
continue to clean the track here.
an
Cars are
accomplishment. It
rolling,
should
but
have
it'll be a
paid
few
more
more laps before we go
to
back
do
to
that.
racing. Jarrett, the leader at Bristol.
I wasn't scoring this race, but I was here. I remember all of these events. I remember Pat Tryson
baseball game of the week between
must
the White
have quit.
Sox
I
and
just
the
remember
Rangers.
seeing, like I said, I didn't witness him quitting. I just remember seeing the radio and headset laying there and thinking
White
that's
Sox look to get back at Texas, who won yesterday 17-8. Sunday night baseball at 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
That was a defensive struggle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was a pitcher's duel.
Oh, I thought it was football he was talking about for a little bit.
Bill Weber.
Well, there'll be a lot of adjustments and a lot of guys trying to help out their drivers down here. But one of the most unusual, Geoff Burton has asked for some pain relievers.
Big Hickory race
500, that's probably what he'll be getting.
tomorrow. If you've got Flow Racing, I don't have Flow Racing anymore, but I will keep track of it on Twitter or whatever. I had to get a Twitter back. I had a Twitter and didn't use it for years, and now it's without Flow. I gotta have it for my short track racing to keep up with
Let's
it.
take a look at a full
I
field
mostly
summary
follow
here
all
while
the
we can, and the
tracks.
positions aren't changing because we're under caution. Note that there are 8 cars
And
on
of course,
the lead
I'm
lap,
rooting
and the
for
number
Landon still.
41 car of Steve Grissom running 5th, up from 35th, and the number 18
One of the crew
car
guys,
is running in
RJ's
8th
mom,
position, and
wants
he's
to
up
come
from the
visit
38th
Florida.
starting
She
position.
said, I'm like,
Mighty
definitely.
impressive.
I have someone to hang out with at the beach.
16 through 30 this afternoon. All these cars 3 laps down. Earnhardt 3 laps
She's
down.
an
along
iRacing
with
mom, too.
3, 6, 7 cars. 3 cars 4 laps down.
iRacing's the best thing in the world, though. I'm just like
And
so
that's the
thrilled.
remainder of the field here.
I'm
Most
old
of those
school,
are
but
off the track or out of the race.
I like
Jimmy Spencer
what
is back
the
on
sim
racetrack,
does
but
for
he's
the
CC,
driver's
he is 30 laps
talents
down.
and
Jeff Gordon there, who is in
gives them an
34th
extra
position right now.
understanding
The car
of
is
how
still behind
races
the wall being worked on.
operate and the
involved in a
procedures.
crash
It's
out of the
just
backstretch a few
so
laps
much
ago when he hit
that
the
goes
inside
into
wall
a
very
race
hard.
for a
But his
driver
caution
more
flag
than
is working to
driving.
his advantage because they're going
And more
around the
than like
racetrack
setup,
at
and more
26
than
mile
all
per
that
hour
is just
versus
like
120 miles an
where
hour.
to be when.
And pit road is still closed. You can see the dust and the dirt and the oil dry is being blown off
The
the
race,
racetrack.
you know, how many laps before you can enter pit and how many laps before they go back green and all that little stuff that just adds to your database in your head.
On the backstretch for Steve Grissom's crew. The car is set up for long
Kind of
runs.
those
It's a
things
little
that I
tight in the
wish.
beginning of a run.
I know
As they
they're
get some
using
laps on
these
the tires
beefy
and the
pit
fuel
crews
lightens,
from
the car
other
really
sports
picks
and
up and
athletes
is
and
really
stuff,
fast.
which
In
is
fact,
great
they
for
think they have
pits.
a car that is capable
But
of winning the race. This is a car that they ran at Dover.
not
They
knowing
ran
how
in the top
races
10,
run
top 5 before they got
from
involved in
watching
the crash.
hundreds
Let's
of
go back to
races
Jerry Punch.
gives them a
I got question for
disadvantage.
Benny and Bob upstairs and Ned. Back in the early years, you remember
For
a
real.
song called the Hot Rod Lincoln?
Oh, you bet.
Well, the car you're looking at right
There's
there,
just
the
so many
88,
other
that
things
car
that go
used to
on
be a Lincoln Continental.
during a race,
Last
during
year,
your pit
one of the
stops,
14
during
built the Lincoln Continental, Granifus Haas, and this
if
is
you
the
don't
car
have that
was a
sixth
Lincoln,
sense of where to
now
be and where
carrying
not
Ford
to
Thunderbird
be
sheet metal. So it's a Lincoln
in the
disguise,
way,
but running like a hot
I've
rod
seen
tonight.
so many guests at a track come and stand
for
on
sure.
the
The
pit
81
hoses
car,
that they're ready
driven by our
to
pulser,
go out
Kenny
and
Wallace, has gone
do tire
back in the
changes
race.
with.
He
And
is 177
there's just so many
laps
things.
off
There's
the
so many
pace.
little things. Getting run
And
over,
needless to say,
walking
he's
when you
in
ain't supposed to.
42nd and last position.
Standing like, oh, I can see real good here, but you're at the entrance to pit road when a car comes in at 40 miles an hour. You know, junk like that.
As we take a break. Back in just a
All right, well, they worked and got it out there.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Dad's
and while
with the
we were in
81
break,
at this
the pits
race.
opened up
We're
and
with the 7. We
came in
both
for
have wicked
stops.
luck.
You can see
But
Ted
this will be the
Musgrave
race that
flanking
I
over.
have
He's
good luck
locked down,
because
so he's now
after this
making
race,
a stop here
next
on the
race
main
would be
straightaway.
Darlington,
Here's what
and I
happened
get
during
to
the pit
score
stops.
that race. Because of the circumstances of this race, I ended up being the team sport till Phoenix. From now till Phoenix.
Jack goes around.
I was actually going to play the Vegas race. I thought my dad said he went to Vegas with Kenny Wallace, but I got to double check. Whoa, Mark just got into...
Martin out on the racetrack.
They apparently put a rubber there in the spring on Rusty's car. That's what took so long in the right
On
rear.
pit road.
I got you. Now, Ken Schrader picked up several positions.
I think Mark was shaking his finger at the 33
spot, I believe, when
for
we
a
go
minute.
Back to green, John Kernan.
Some discussion that Steve Grissom might have beaten the 88 car out of the pits. Right now he's driving along behind him. And what happened was on the backstretch, when Dale Jarrett and the rest of the guys who'd pitted on the front stretch were coming down, there were some lap cars in front of him going very, very slowly, so they couldn't continue around. Grissom, leaving pit road, had a clean shot down.
After Phoenix, I don't officially work for any teams anymore after that. I've gone to the track with Dad and had fun with teams, late model teams, Florida modified teams, dirt mods at Volusia. And I went to Nazareth when they won, and I went to Hickory with Nazareth was when they won with Tim Fedewa, which will be 1998 or 99. I'll have to look back. And then, because I was in the pits that day.
Well, Jerry, just the opposite problem for Rusty Wallace. He's too tight. So they decided
My new ex-husband was in the pits that day. I think it was like 2000? No, 98?
That'll make Rusty even better. But he's already pretty quick out there. In fact, he has been the talk
98, 99, probably 99. Whenever he won Nazareth, I'll have to look at it. It's coming up, though. It'll be a race I'll cover. And because 97, Dad, like I said, he was kind of helping out when Newt asked him to help out, which was this race. And then he said Vegas, but they didn't race Vegas. So that's what's got me confused. I'm thinking maybe it was Desert.
NASCAR Winston
Phoenix,
Cup
maybe?
race from Bristol Motor Speedway. We haven't been under green for a long time. We had 19 minutes of red because of this crash down in turn number 1. And now
I know I've covered this race quite a bit of
leader at the
times,
moment is
but
Dale Jarrett. He has led 59 of the first 275 laps.
it's kind of a pivotal race for me, kind of a pivotal race for Dad, for
miles an hour. Now those who have led
Bodine.
picked up the bonus points.
There was a lot happening behind the scenes, like business-wise, at the 7.
And off the track, we have Derry Cope, Brett Bodine, Gordon, and Ernie Irvin. All of those guys are behind the wall working on their cars, and one car that is being shown out of the race is, of course, David.
But in all racing, you're getting
to,
mid-season
nearby
now,
medical
getting
facility
past
to be checked
mid-season.
Okay, Bob,
You're
we've got,
weary from the
an interesting
road.
situation here on the restart.
You're living out of a suitcase now for 3 months in a row.
They are in front of the leader, so they're going up on the
You're
outside.
racing and sleeping.
Dale Jarrett will be third in line.
The cars are fatigued, the people are fatigued, and this is when you got to dig down and it's more of a mental game, you know. You're not where you want to be in points, maybe. Your fingers are starting to point. The engine builder is blaming the chassis guy, and the chassis guys are blaming the engine builder. And oh my God, over and over every season.
Now they say they will throw the green the next time by, right, Jerry?
But to be one step ahead, it's a mental thing, but pretend you're going to February speed weeks, double, triple check everything, start out with new parts that might not be fatigued. It's a mental thing. Take that 1 week off if you have to, and make sure all your cars are still driving square. This is stuff I told Dad this week. He said, but we did that every week. Well, yes. I get that, but, you know, take the A-frames off, put new bolts on, see if anything's bent, any of your shock mounts, your A-frame mounts, you know, checking everything. Panhard bar mounts, make sure nothing's bent, broke, cracked. Preventative maintenance, we called it in the industrial world. But it's a mental thing. Recharge. It's the finger pointing that'll do a team in. Most of all.
Rookie driver Mike Skinner is getting the black flag, passing on the wrong side on the restart.
And it is. The drivetrain guys always blame the chassis guys. And chassis guys always blame... Which a lot of times the engines blow, so I don't know. Daughter of a chassis guy, I'm going to take the chassis guy's side. Even though they put a lot of gear to the motor or something, right? Now, it's fun.
Car of Mike Skinner, black flag, and they have now just picked up his car and not being scored anymore.
And will not until he does obey the black flag. Well, here's some tight racing.
Ooh, hear that? Vroom.
Well, Skinner was trying to get down so he could come into the pits, and Spencer didn't know that.
Sounded like he was downshifting. Now, is this the beginning of green flag pit stops already? What lap we on? Come on now. Mash them buttons. When I say mash the buttons, it'll say in the upper left-hand corner at the line, and the numbers will pop up like boom, 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 boom. That was us in the booth smashing the button. For real. We had the telemetry, but it was only start-finish line. And when we were scoring, it's when we wrote down times, it's not their speed. There was a 1 second ticker clock. It would either be one of those kind that are like a metal flap that goes flip, 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 like mechanical, or they would be digital. And they would just count seconds. So on the green flag, you just write G in the bot, but you don't write anything until the next lap around. And at this track, you would write down like, what is it, 15? You'd write down 15 seconds. Next time around, it'd be 30. Or if you're in 5th place, it'd be 34 or 35. You know, whatever, when your nose of your car touches that start-finish line, you write down the time on that 1 second ticker clock. And it will go up to the number of thousands in the thousands. It's just a cumulative. It wasn't start and stop. It was a cumulative. So it'd be like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 60 seconds. That'd be 4 laps. Now, if you go in the pits, you put a P in the box, and it might not be 15 seconds. It might be now 35 seconds or whatever your pit stop is. But that'll explain why there was so many seconds between you riding in the next block. And then at the end of the race, when you get to 200 or 300 or 500 laps, there was 200 laps on a page. So race like this, you would have 3 pages of scoring rules. But all you had to do was write down that number, mash your button, and if it was green flag, you just write down the number. If you're going in the pits, you put a P. If it's a yellow, you put a Y. It looked like bowling sheet with a little corner. You put a little Y. Uh-oh. Well, that's going to piss somebody off.
And the car is out. Cars stack up behind, but...
And now we were right in the box yellow.
Also spun. Rick Mast, I believe, did.
But
and another car that is still
I wouldn't write it till the next time around because he was already past the start-finish line. So next block is Y in the box. And then you write down the time, which would be like 295 laps times 15 seconds, whatever it is. Or, like, if you're down 2 laps, it'd be different. You can tell. Now, when you get to the end of the race, all 500 laps at this track are finished. Marlin would call everyone with 200 laps. Everyone with 199, 198. Or, you know, they would call them in order. If I finished a 500 lap race and I was 498, I would wait till they called the 498s and hold my card up and they would collect it. But we also, every 10 laps, had to hold our card up during the race. Like when we hit 10 laps, whether there's 10 laps and you only run 8, everyone else might hold it up on 10 and you're there on lap 12. When you're on lap 10, you hold your card up. And Marlin and Morris Metcalf would be writing down on their clipboard every time, like my clipboard had a number 7 on the back, so I would be, you know, if I hit lap 10, I'd hold it up and I watched till they seen me and write my number down, and then I continue scoring. It was really quite like something I grew up doing. My first race I scored when I was 12 or 11, 12 years old. It was for Kenny Bouchard, and it was at Islip Speedway.
Well, he's obviously going to need some tires. He's going to get 4 of them. He'll get a clean windshield and a drink. Don't need much fuel just to top it off because we had that lengthy caution just a few laps ago. Bodine has his right side tires. Now they come around, change the left sides, top it off with the fuel. So this team working very well.
I think my ex is washing the windshield. Nope, not him. Another short kid. Being the transport driver for the QVC, mainly during his, this is going to be funny, during his race time, his job was running fuel and tires. I laugh because he had to make a lot of trips to the Goodyear truck. And then he ended up divorcing me and marrying a girl from Goodyear. So I guess yay for him and yay for me. I told him he's going to be in the book, and I'll be snarky about it. He don't care. He don't care. After everything I did for you, you're going to write from did to you? You're going to include me in your book? Yeah, why not? It's the truth. Yeah, I mean, we were both better off, I guess. Not that I wanted that to happen. I was surprised, to be honest. He wanted more kids, and I didn't. That's the way it goes.
Running in second position. Jeff Gordon remains behind the wall. They're still working hard on that car. Here's what happened on lap 245. Down in the corner. Makes contact with Jeremy Mayfield.
Oh, they're recapping everything we already saw, but might as well let it run.
Drives back on the racetrack.
I put all of these on YouTube later. I don't clip too much. I might clip out a cuss word or something that I might say untrue and not realize it till I said it.
He can hear the crew, but they can't hear him very well. His car's a little tight. Green's out. Here we go again.
Like if I quote a stat or something and it's not true, I'll tend to delete it. The last race I uploaded, Sonoma and California, both of them, were on. I'm still editing. Put it that way. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all. I have an event coming up in October that my dad and I are going to travel to Massachusetts for a 40th reunion of the Westboro Speedway closing. I know it sounds weird. Anyway, it's a reunion for Westboro Speedway, and the Falcones say it may be the last one, but they say that most years. But we're all getting so old and we're all like croaking fast, so. It was a track I went to as a child. It was one of the first tracks my dad raced in the early 60s, late 50s, early 60s. It was where the modified cars went from jalopies to modifieds. From jalopies to coupes to modifieds. Like Pintos in Vegas and Gremlins. Yeah, it's a cool road trip. I was hoping he'd fly because I think it would be easier on him, but he's got so much hardware in his body from his heart surgeries that he says he doesn't feel comfortable on a plane with all that going on, which I get. So motorhome-wise, we will probably do something like that, or his car, or pull something with his car, or something. Yeah. I thought it would be like energy-wise better for him to not drive, but then I forgot about all the hardware. Because he's had a triple bypass and a pacemaker and all of that. So. But that's going to be exciting. It's in Massachusetts, our home track. It was in the center of Massachusetts. It was where almost every driver from New England got their start. Either Seaconk, Westboro, or Monadnock, the little quarter miles, and then moved up to Stafford, the half mile, and Thompson, the half mile. So it was the beginner track. It was the first track in Worcester that, say, Fats Caruso drove. People like Bill Slater. The Baldwins would come up for that track sometimes, like Tiger. The Bouchards cut their teeth there, like as teenagers. The Fullers cut their teeth there as teenagers. Talking early 70s. All three Fuller brothers are going to be there. Probably 4, 5. Probably Jimmy and David too. There'll be Jimmy, David, Ricky, Bobby, and Geoff. And the list is growing. My dad, the Bouchards will be there. Kenny, Ronnie's younger brother. Ronnie passed away of cancer a few years back. Anyway, it's going to be pretty good. Pretty good, pretty big, pretty memorable. And I think it'll do Dad wonders to see all his old guys. And he was one of the few that made it south and was successful. So that means a lot too, because people from New England didn't get a lot of radio coverage or TV coverage of the Southern races in the beginning. So it was special when, like, Pete Hamilton was one of the first that made it south, and then Ronnie, and then Ronnie and Geoff Bodine, and then it kind of went on from there that, with people like Logano and Priest and stuff like that came out of that same era and area, kind of. Who else? There were so many that came out of that New England. I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe. I'm not, like, there isn't a Bouchard that would be a race driver
And the 33, the Skull car.
That's Schrader, not Spencer.
that would be
I know what you meant. Okay.
racing age. Like, Kenny's in his 70s.
Michael Waltrip going up the
Maybe.
hill as Rusty.
Yeah, just barely in his 70s because he was like 5 years older than me. And then, or nearing it. And then the Fullers are all in their 70s. No, wait, I take that back. They're in their late 60s. But Ronnie passed away. Like, Ronnie's son, Robbie, drove for a while, but he's a few years younger than me, but he doesn't race anymore. And then I don't think so. They wouldn't be a relative of Ronnie, but I'm thinking, or Kenny. I was trying to think if Kenny's daughter drove, but I don't think she drove either. He runs, or did run, I think a go-kart track, maybe? I'd have to check. They all do different things, at least did for a while. Maybe I'm confusing the names, but it was a modified driver this year. Bonsignor. Justin Bonsignor does. No, wait, he does Xfinity. Gosh, who? Was it Bonsignor? Okay. I know Caden Honeycutt does a lot of truck now. He did ARCA. Butterbean, that's the one who's running ARCA. Butterbean Queen, and he's from the Cars Tour. He was a Cars Tour champ, I think.
It's the official battery of NASCAR.
I can't remember if he won a championship in the 03. And I know JR Motorsports with one of the Guapos won the Cars Tour championship. God, I need my flow racing. I've been like 2 weeks without it. I'm like, But that's why I jumped in the Twitter sphere, and that gives really good updates, like race day.
And Jeff Burton is right on the bumper of Mark Martin.
Mark Martin and Jeff Burton have run across some traffic.
I wonder
They went to break. They were about a second
if
behind
Cars
David
Tour
Jeff
does
Burton.
live
Now,
timing and
2 1/4
score
seconds behind.
on Race Monitor. That's what Race Monitor, I think, is only like $7, $8 a year. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't quote me. It's a lot cheaper than Flow for me. Oh wow, we're up to 10th again. But Bristol, you could be 10th and still down a lot. I don't know. I gotta see the intervals. Now that at the line, that's us smashing our button in the booth. Not me this day, but next race.
They got through that part pretty good.
But he slowed him down 2/10.
And Burton got up a little high on the racetrack exiting that corner and lost a little ground to Mark. And now Mark and Burton are in big-time traffic. Modified looking E11 there of Brett Bodine.
Traffic is moving over.
Live timing and scoring back in the 90s, brought to you by the Scorers.
Has 14 top 10 finishes in the last 15 races. That's since we raced here.
I say mash the button. It's like a cord, and it's a white thing about this big. You hold your hand, and it's got a clicker. It's this little white colored molded plastic clicker. Like a game show button, buzzer, or whatever. That was what we did that at the line thing.
But we still got a lot of racing to do.
Yeah. Long way to go. 158 laps to go.
Telemetry does it all now.
Awarded now for the finishing position. Mark Martin would be 11 ahead of Jeff Gordon. Jarrett would just be 176 back.
Terry Labonte.
It was cool scoring. I called that my ice cream money. Because I worked like regularly full time in a regular, real life.
At Michigan, but would move
but
back into of the top 10. if
Back
points
then,
were awarded
And
now.
I think that's the first time Ricky
I
Rudd
was
has been out
paid
of the top 10
$150
sometime back
a
in
weekend.
1995.
Yep, that's right.
So basically $75 a day, because I'd have to fly out on Saturday because only one flight went out, and everybody, whether they worked Saturday or Sunday, flew out on it. And so I made $150 a weekend, and per diem was $20 or $25 a day. So it was like a $200 check on a 1099. And I was a good girl, filed my taxes properly, and did all that.
Clean lap that time. We'll see. Did he run 112? Ran 113.
Yeah, he's faster than the leader.
The fastest of anybody on the lead lap.
But it was well worth it. For $200 for a weekend, definitely worth it.
Here he is moving to the inside of Geoff Green in the 29.
Wouldn't trade it for the world, but it was hard work, you know, to work a full-time 40 or 45-hour-a-week job, then go to bed right when you get home at 6 o'clock at night or so, and set your alarm for midnight. And your race day flight left around 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'd have to leave the house around 2 a.m. And it was week after week after week, because of Cup, that was demanding. Bush wasn't so demanding.
There's the leader, Dale Jarrett.
So you kept your suitcase packed and you lived out of it most of the time.
500. We'll be right back.
And that's why I have to review all these again, because it all runs together in your brain.
Cam has found a fire burning.
That's the fun time. That's the fun time. I loved camping out at the tracks as a kid.
The hot dogs and the marshmallows that will
I
probably
didn't get too much as an adult. I really should. I have a gorgeous
tent. Let's see
tent.
where that is in comparison to the racetrack.
They don't have a very good seat, I'll tell you that.
Gorgeous is 3 rooms.
Maybe they are.
Well, there we go. There's a racetrack.
2 rooms.
Wow. Well, we got more
And a
racing coming up
screen
for
house.
you on the Deuce tomorrow morning, 7:45. It's the
It's in a
Grand
box
Prix of
underneath
Belgium
the
from
camp.
Spa, Francorchamps. And Jacques Villeneuve has the pole for tomorrow's race. Live coverage at 7:45 Eastern Time tomorrow morning over
Spa
on
in
the Deuce.
Belgium.
Hey,
My
guys, don't look now, but Mark
step-grandmother
Martin
was
is
from Belgium.
coming.
Dale Jarrett got behind
She was
John
a
and
very
Brady,
pretty
get by
lady.
him, and Mark Martin is coming quickly.
Rusty Wallace goes in the corner, watches his head.
My dad's
leans
sick.
over,
My dad's second wife.
and now he gets on straight away. His head comes back
She
up
actually
straight,
just
goes in
passed
the corner,
her
he'll
son.
lean that head again.
And you do that 1,000 times in this race, huh?
Yeah, 1,000 times. And there's what I was talking about.
A modified driver I'm interested in watching is someone named Paulie Hartwig III. Paulie, like P-A-U-L-I-E.
Closed up with another AutoZone on-track
He
interval
is
report.
just turned
Jarrett had a good lap at the
14,
17th lap. But look at Mark Martin.
13.
3:01.
He drives a smart tool. He's got some talent now. I haven't seen a kid that young have that kind of talent since Ronnie, to be honest.
I think he went in there
He
high,
already
let the
won
leader
at
go
Hickory.
by, and he got a little higher maybe than he meant to. There he goes high again so that Mark Martin can go by.
He's kind of on the Keenan Harvick level for a young race
Steve's running in fourth
driver.
place.
Where you see them do stuff that veteran drivers do automatically. They do it.
Now, once again, Jarrett will come up.
It'll
on
be
some-
interesting to see his career.
There's still 9 cars on the lead lap. Bobby Labonte is in 9th place. He's about 13 seconds behind the leader.
Whoa. Mark goes to the inside of Ricky Rudd.
There's a 99 car. Jeff Burton, the 3rd place car. Steve Grissom, 2 3/4 seconds behind. Folks, he's getting closer and closer. There he comes. The white number 41.
Just a great run for this Alabama driver.
And Mark Martin just, what, 3 car lengths behind Dale Jarrett.
Got through all that traffic nicely and now has no cars between himself and Dale Jarrett.
But they're coming up on, both of them coming up on some more lap traffic.
Jarrett has 11 NASCAR Winston Cup career wins. All of them have come on super speedways, never a win on a short track.
I really liked that Valvoline paint. I think the best with the wave down the side. It was impressive.
Go to the inside of Lake Speed. Who's up in 27th position.
8 laps down now. Lake Speed is.
132, 131 laps to go.
We'll have to make another pit stop, Benny.
Yep.
Before this thing's over. Now, which way do you go here? Okay, follow Chad Little in the green car. 78 car. Bradbury.
About the book, I've set a goal of trying to at least finish a close to edited copy to take north with me. So that is the one thing I've got to focus on above everything else, is finishing at least a close to press-ready copy of the manuscript. And I've been going to coffee with the racers when I can, about once a month lately, for the last 3 months or so, which is exciting. It's some of our old modified drivers, some of our old modified crew members, and one guy that was there ran the Road America in a GTO. His son drove it, actually. Road America in the GTO class. So I got to check that. In fact, those all go live. The Road America races go live tomorrow, starting on the IMSA channel on YouTube.
So this thing is far from over. 120-some laps to go.
I got to, man, Pops. I got to get it done.
Continues to set the pace at Bristol.
I've written all the way up to like the end of 90.
The Pennzoil copter cam hovering high overhead of Bristol Motor Speedway, giving us the shots of the traffic still
But I've only
out there
edited
after
up to
382 laps complete.
Early 70s, maybe?
Talking about traffic, the
70s, yeah, up until I think I'm on modifieds and super speedways. That's where I left off the editing. When we took the modified south. It's a fun time. Good time in my life. I remember I was like between 11 and 14 years old up in there. And we raced the tour. Before it was the tour, but it was really cool back then. Really, really cool. Thinking, I haven't seen it. I've only seen clips, but Stafford Speedway had Cletus McFarland at it a couple of weeks ago during like the 4th of July weeks, and had like a thrill show. And it was kind of had the Joey Chitwood vibe as we used to have it. Maybe we'll get him to travel around a little bit for those short tracks. Stafford and the Arute family have just done racing right. I mean, they, to me, are the epitome. Okay, Pops. Yeah, they're the epitome, I would say, of what a short track run right looks like. And also, like, I grew up there. I went to every single race from 71 to 81, I'd say. My son was born in 81, and then I didn't go so often. You know how that works. But, yeah, that track has just always been clean racing. But the promoters always respected their drivers and appreciated the drivers and had so many events for the fans. Like, they haven't had banner night in a long time. That's something David Arute might think about. we all had to make banners of our favorite drivers, and they had banner contests by the cheering of the crowd. And it was back when Dad was working with the Kenny Bouchard car, and in fact, it's the car that's at the top of the screen on the left, the 35 that's white with the blue frame. We made a fabric banner held on like a broomstick. We all like gold around it and stuff. Me and my sis just worked on it forever with my mom, and we picked up the fabric, and we had iron-on letters. And there's a picture of us somewhere where we're like 12 years old carrying that little banner out on the speedway for Kenny. It was kind of fun. But yeah, they haven't done a banner contest. They do the big wheel contest for little kids. It was cute. We had Seymour the Stafford Clown. He was so fun. We talked about him at the Racers Coffee this week. His name was Butch. He just loved it. He was a friend, I guess, worked for the excavating company, and he just loved being Seymour. Seymour the Stafford Clown. They played a theme from Shaft at the start of the modified races, even still today, which is very cool, on the pace lap. They had the soundtrack, Riders on the Storm. It's still just such a cool race. And they've expanded. Because of how great Stafford is, it makes me just long to live back in New England, except for the cold and the snow. And then I get a, reality check, and I look outside and see palm trees, and the beach is a 10-minute drive away or less. It's 2 miles by the crow, but we got to drive to a bridge up north or a bridge down south. Gee whiz. Good old Bristol. I'm so glad Mark is on social media. That's so fun to see his takes.
100 laps to go. That's about, it's less than a half hour of racing. So
he took it so seriously, though. Oh my God, he took everything so seriously. And we all did. We didn't realize how much fun we were really having and how great it was back then. We didn't know we were making history. We were just racing. We had no idea how epic that era was. With Schrader and Earnhardt and the Wallaces and the Jarretts and Mark and the Burtons and the Labonis. I mean, there was so many great drivers, great teams.
Bradbury's up against the wall. Turn number 4.
Looks like he broke a lot of junk out the back of his car.
Jarrett was thinking about coming in pretty soon. Now we have the opportunity to, Jerry.
Exactly, Bob. Huge break for Dale Jarrett. They were concerned about the toe in the front of the car number 88, as well as possibly a fender rubbing on the right front. They were going to bring him in at about lap 410, which would be one.
But I'm really excited to be right in Dad's butt. And I talked to him this morning. He actually called when I was out doing my errands, and I took one of those sharp turns. Going out of our development, there's like a couple of hairpins. My phone was on the floor about 5 feet away. There was no way I could reach it. It was face up. I could see. It said Dad ringing. I'm like, well, I'll have to call him back. But he was watching Dirty Mo Media's interview with Ryan Priest, which is one of the best interviews. I really enjoyed it.
Strawberry. You see Mommy's talking, but I'm not talking to you because I'm saying racing stuff. Racing stuff. You know about race cars. You go to race shows with Mommy.
And then they think they're going to be in pretty good shape because as you saw just
Skelly
a
does
little while
stuff.
ago, after they get some laps on the car and the fuel load
Skelly
lightens
does
and the air
stuff
pressure
with
goes into
Mommy.
the tires, that car is like a rocket ship.
There's the 88 car of Dale Jarrett, who beat Mark Martin out of the pits, we believe, and so will be at the front of the field, although the 6 is ahead of Jarrett.
After this race is over and before I sign off, I will play the video of me and Skelly at the beach this week. It's only a minute. It's a little short.
White line. This is the white line that they've got to get to.
This is going to be a bit to pull off, too. So I'm going to fast forward.
See the 6 car moving, and man, is it close.
There we go. Oops, too far. Back to green.
We now have 10 cars on the lead lap.
10 cars on the lead lap. We're going to get on the lead lap. Mark's leading, correct? Oh, this can't be good.
Third place now. He just passed the 99 car.
Do you know how much amount of thick-headedness is in that 2 cars in the front that was in the 7 and 23? Because I've watched them in person on the modified tour. And those 2 don't lift. They wouldn't lift if life depended on it.
Jimmy Spencer is 32 laps down in 30th spot.
Back in these days, it was kind of a rhythm that every
Right now we have 10 cars in the lead.
restart on new tires would take
But Mark takes a look, trying to put him a lap down.
4 or so to not to heat up and you know, grow, and then it would take about 7 to get to optimal, and then by the 15th lap you were losing time again and going backwards from the leader, basically.
But he also said
You had to time the end of the race for when your tires were optimal too. Sometimes you didn't have a choice and just do what you can, but that was the basic rhythm. And after about 15, 20 laps, especially 30 laps, your driver would say, "Where can we pit? Where can we pit? My tires, I need tires." It's alright. Oh, that sucks. It's like, it's okay, it's okay.
Bodine gets his lap back.
a lot of debris down in this corner.
Wally Dallenbach is the other car involved in this.
Well, that's another bummer. Let's fast forward past that mess. After the pit stops, of course.
There is debris all over the racetrack.
So now 10 cars back in the lead lap because this fella, Geoff Bodine, did it.
And he's been a fast race car.
And one of the fastest all evening. Now we'll see what he can do.
Why don't you
But
bite one of your
now,
bones?
Wally Dallenbach begins to move away, but Mike Skinner is still at the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 1.
Yeah, we're going fast forward. This is the cleanup
Yet
from
another caution
hell.
on Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh, some contact.
Oops, replays.
Man, oh man.
It's been a tough night
All
for
right.
rookies.
Are they
Mike
pitting
Skinner
now?
is now out of the race. Robbie Gordon did not
They were
start.
in our
Didn't
pit
qualify
stop for
the
some
event.
reason.
David Green rolled down the front straightaway. He's out, and Jeff Green is currently running in 21st position. Ken Schrader makes the pit stop. He's one of the lead lap cars. And also the 7 car of Geoff Bodine, who just got back on the lead lap, will come in. Bill?
Well, Geoff Bodine has scratched and clawed his way back into this thing with under 70 laps to go. Now he has nothing to lose by coming in and getting 4 fresh tires, a clean windshield, will clean the
Okay, my X is on the far left. Far left, I think. I was wanting to see, I'm in the pits there too, and I'll have to go back after and pause it and see if I see, holy crap, they were cranking. Raising the nose. I think, could be wrong.
He will leave pit road this time, then he should come back on pit road and put on 4 fresh tires. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Pine.
Well, the discussion is ongoing between Steve Meal and Mark Martin as to what could happen on the restart. Mark's big
Oh,
concern
those
is
old
this.
commercials are
The car
funny.
number
I like the
23 was
really
lap
old
downer,
ones.
not on the lead lap, jumping the restart or getting a good start on the restart and possibly getting around Mark and holding Mark up, which would set him up possibly to be passed for the lead. We check back in with Bill Weber.
And Jeff's back for 2 left side tires. He's on his way with 4 tires, and you know, he's a threat here now. So Geoff Bodine leaves the pits, heads back out as Mark Martin leads here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll be right back.
ESPN Speed World welcomes you back to Bristol Motor Speedway and the Goodies Headache Powder 500. We're being brought to you by Quaker State, the quality your car deserves. By the more than 1,675 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? We have some Fords running up front here. The first 4 are Ford-powered cars, including Mark Martin, Dale Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, and Jeff Burton. Green comes out.
And this time, Jimmy Spencer, remember the last time, got the good jump. This time, he backs off and lets the guys go up and battle for the lead.
Ooh, had a little bit of contact there with Steve Grissom. Grissom running in 5th place. So he gets on by. Terry Labonte is 6th.
Gentleman Jimmy Spencer won the Busch.
Yeah, he was a good guy to work for. My dad worked for him in '95 for part of the season. After he left Moroso, I think he was helping Grissom on the 41 Meineke and the Channel Lock 29 in Busch was that year. They had pretty good success, I think, a couple poles. Again, Bristol, I think Dad was in charge of the Bristol setup for that team as well.
Closes up right on the back bumper of Mark Martin.
Mark Martin getting off the turn 2 over there very well.
I'm going to run and use the ladies' room, and I'll be back for the end of this.
We got less than 60 laps to go.
I'll be in the chat, of course. I gotta use the restroom and see if Scully needs something. As she's begging me to do something. She might have to go out too. I'll be right back.
Since Mark Martin won at this racetrack. He won this race in 1993. There's Michael Waltrip, who went up the racetrack and gave Mark and Dale room. Michael in 27th position. It's 11 o'clock Eastern time, and for those of you who tuned in for SportsCenter, stay with us because SportsCenter will be coming up at the conclusion of our race, and we have less than 60 laps to go. 56 as a matter of fact. And Bill is with Mike Skinner.
Mike, out of the infield care center, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I banged my knee on the steering column real hard and hit my head on the bar, but my head's all right. My knee's a little bit sore, but, you know, I hate it for Lowe's. We had a good run, pretty good run going. We got motioned by on the left side by some cars that was a lot further down than we were. We were only a lap down, and we took advantage of it, and NASCAR penalized us for it. This is kind of a rough deal, but car was running pretty good, and I guess someone tagged us from behind there. You know, I'm sure it was accidental. It just, one of them racing deals. Racing's pretty tight here at Bristol. I love this place. I can't wait to come back.
Okay, and he'll be back next time, and he'll be back next week at Darlington.
Boy, after being through what he went through, and he says he can't wait to get back here.
Maybe he hasn't seen the tape yet.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, Mike, believe me.
And Rusty Wallace closes up on the back bumper of Dale Jarrett. Right now, Mark Martin putting a few place car. Rusty tries to get on alongside as he goes by the floor car mid-barrier.
Now they all three have a little bit of open running room there before they get to more lap traffic.
Rusty led 353 laps, and in the spring he led 240. Now here's a battle between the 33 and the 90, Trickle and Schrader.
7th and 8th, they're battling for it. Trickle has 7th, and Schrader is on the outside, and now he has 7th.
It was a good pass by Schrader on the outside.
Yep.
Schrader came in and took on some tires, I believe, during that caution period.
Ooh, Spencer dives in the corner. Spencer's got a very fast race car. Just had some problems many laps down.
Remember, Geoff Bodine got back on the lead lap when the caution came out most recently. There is Geoff. He's up to 9th now. Bobby Labonte is running 10th.
Bodine is about a half a lap down now. He's 7 1/10 seconds behind the leader.
Boy, Rusty got past right then by Jeff Burton. It looked like he slipped a little bit coming off turn 2. Burton caught up to him, and now Rusty is definitely going a little bit slower than he was.
Geoff Bodine hasn't led. He started 15th, has been as low as 28th, and has been as high as 4th right now in 9th.
And Steve Grissom has been caught by Terry Labonte.
Well, Terry, he just hangs in there all night long and been in the top 10 for a long time. Ken Schrader, he's coming up on both of them. He has those fresh tires.
Well, Rusty, you mentioned that Rusty was not quite as fast as he was. Word is he may have a tire going down, Bill.
That's what they're thinking. This crew just leaped onto the wall. Rusty went by the first time. They're waiting to see if he's coming in. Yeah, he's going to make the hard left. Just scoot right on down here to pit road. They think it's the right rear. So they go around to the right side. This is heartbreaking for this team. They've had so much bad luck this season. Here, one of his favorite tracks, there is a chance to win. He's already fallen off the lead lap. Two right sides, Rusty's back out. I told you this place can rip your heart out.
Boy, that is a tough break.
In the last 10 Bristol races, Rusty leads in the categories of most points scored, most wins, most top 10s, most laps led, and he has the best average finish at 5.2, but now goes a lap down.
And Rusty coming back in the pits.
Yep.
Apparently it must have been a left side tire instead of the right.
Bill?
Yep, now they're going to do the left side, so... like I said, no luck at all. They thought it was the right side. They told them right rear. So now they got left sides on. Rusty's got 4 tires, and doesn't make a whole lot of difference. He'll be on the track, but he won't be in the race.
Wow, when it rains, it pours.
So now Rusty Ross is 2 laps down.
Reminder, coming up next is Sports Center here on ESPN as the guys catch you up on everything that's going on in the world of sports right after the conclusion of this race. We'll have reports on the Yankees, Mariners, the college football opener, and the World Series of Golf. All that coming up next on Sports Center. Battle for the lead. Dale Jarrett gets the lead. The caution is out. There was a report of oil on the racetrack.
Wow, there were some cars slipping.
She wanted a drink, and I gave her water, and I gave her milk, and she still wasn't happy. She wanted a little bit of beer. That's what she wanted.
You ever see Mark Martin coming up? No, never see Jeff Burton.
Whoa, flat tire.
And Terry Labonte did the same thing, the same spot.
Yeah, there must be some
Maybe
oil
not.
out there.
The report was that possibly Jeff Gordon was laying down some oil. By the way, Jeff is back in 36th position. He crashed earlier in the race and made repairs and has been out there, but not moving up very quickly. Jeff is coming in.
He's 127 laps down.
We have an interesting situation here because Jeff Gordon led 188 laps, and Dale Jarrett, with the lap that he just led, has led 180. So Jarrett only needs 9 more laps, and he will take home the 5 bonus points for leading the most.
I know, isn't that funny? I don't know what it is. Ever since she was a little baby puppy, I had a friend that would come over, and he was like a disabled vet, and he always hung out at this one friend's house. And when his friend got hurt and was gone in the hospital, he would come and sit out in the lawn chair out in front of my cabin when I was working on it. And he just always called Stelly his little sweetie. He just loved Stella, and Stella loved your Uncle Geoff.
Live and in color.
And
here is how Dale Jarrett got into
he
the
drank Bush beer, which probably attributed to his bad circulation. But I took him to, or I shouldn't say I took it. He would come to the house and ask me to drive him to town. We lived like on all these dirt roads, and like I said, the town was, I think I've said 109 people lived in the town. That was the last census in 2020. And I would drive him like 5 miles from our little town area out. He didn't feel comfortable driving very far because of his neuropathy and those type of things he had. And I would drive him to breakfast every day about 10 o'clock. He would come over to the house, and I'd hear him yell, "Hey!" And I'd drive him to get his breakfast, get his 12-pack of beer, and go back to either my house, and he would sit outside while I worked on my cabin or whatever, and I'd play like music or whatever he'd want, you know, because he just wanted to hang out somewhere, and he was always such a gentleman, and he loved Stella. And Stella would always knock over his Busch Light. He got these 12-pack of 60-ounce Busch Lights, and she would always knock it over so she could eat it. And ever since that, she has just been that way. She likes a little taste of beer. I give her near beer. They make beer for puppy dogs, too. You like beer? She's going. She talks with breath sounds. Or squeaks. She squeaks, too.
Crew Chief Charlie Presley tells me, I think that's our best shot at victory. Remember, his car was a little
in my last stream live, she jumped on my bed. I don't know if you got to see it. I'm going to clip it out. I just haven't got there. I'm like watching it, and I clipped out a few long parts in the beginning. But, she's hitting my foot. She wants more. She like takes her head, boom, right into my leg. I know you can't see because I don't have my camera on. One tight right there.
You can see right here the marks that Rusty
makes an egg of the
vibration of this tire. So it was the left rear tire with the lugs going away that brought Rusty Wallace into the pits and took him out of contention. Dr. Punch.
Headbutts my leg because she wants more. I try not to give her too much, but she's 80 pounds now. It ain't going to affect her much. 2 sips.
4 fresh tires on, guys, and I might have a shot at 1,000.
She's only like 40 pounds less than me.
They might do it.
No, I'm lying. 50 pounds less.
Also stopped and put on 4 tires, so you got 3 cars out there that stopped.
I have lost it. But not that much. It feels good to get my energy back. I've been awful this week. I've been trying to lurk, y'all. You ever, I think you may understand, Pop, because you have back problems and you also seem to have some fibromyalgia type things in your joints and stuff, too. And it's, how do you explain, like, you just get so tired that you can't even converse, can't even conversate.
17th, 4 laps down.
And the only thing I know to not feel like that is to sleep.
This is the battle for 6th position. Trickle with those new tires.
Sometimes that means I'm up then at 2 or 3 in the morning because of that. And I just hate that feeling that I think it's just part of my fibro, they say, but it hits me most with fatigue. And for no reason, well, I shouldn't say for no reason. This weekend, let me come on. Back, anyway. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but the fatigue, like you don't even want to lift your head off the pillow. And I even look at my phone, I'm just laying down, and I feel like I weigh 1,000 pounds. Is the only way to explain it. And the only way to stop that feeling is to sleep. And I hate it. It's I guess the depression side of fibromyalgia, like they say, the way the doctor explained it, it's like the chicken or the egg, which come first. Are you depressed because you have pain, or you have pain because you're depressed? And it's kind of a double-edged sword. So it takes a lot to fight to get out of that. It's like fibro is your batteries never charge 100%. It's like you're plugging in your cell phone, and by the time it gets to 50, you just pull out the plug because you got to use it. And that's how your body feels like. That's, I guess, the best way to explain fibro, the way I experience. Everyone experiences fibromyalgia, which is a joint illness like arthritis, where your body attacks the myelin around your joints. And it's newly discovered of how it works. But my mom has it, my grandma had it, and I happen to. And my son as well, which is kind of rare for boys, but it only came on in my late 40s. All of a sudden it came on. I never experienced any way I knew. Was I would get ready for work, a job I loved. I went to for about a year and a half. And then all of a sudden, by Thursday, I was exhausted. And by the time I'd wake up and get breakfast, take my shower, get ready for work, I was like, oh my God, I gotta go to work. And I'm absolutely exhausted. What is wrong? And I'd go to work, and then I'd have to do it again Friday, and it was all I could do. And then the place I worked was Monday through Friday, and they decided they're gonna be working Saturdays. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that. I was went to my doctor, said something's wrong. Something is wrong. Because it was night and day. And it took me that doctor plus another doctor, and going through about 2 or 3 years of tests showing nothing on the regular blood tests, showing nothing on the regular showing nothing but arthritis. You're showing, just losing my mind, thinking I am dying, but nothing showing up on the test. And I finally went to a very different doctor, joined a different group, and said something's wrong, and wrote down a 4-page of what was going on with me. He said, when he walked in the office, I was my arms were folded in front of me, and I was rocking and stuff. He said, that is classic fibromyalgia by the book. So then he prescribed medicine for that, which I've been on ever since. And it helped to know what I had, so I know how to handle it. So when I get extremely tired, I just sleep so I can recharge the batteries. But that's the depression part for me is just fatigue. I don't feel all weepy, cryy, or emotional. It's just I feel so exhausted. And I want to work so bad when I'm in my up phase, but then when I get in my down phase, I'm like, oh my God, thank God I didn't take on a job. It's a wicked mind screw up too. It messes with your mind because you don't dare make plans because you don't know if you're going to feel okay. And believe me, it's it's not understood much, but now they've actually located the cause is the myelin being attacked. And it's also something to do with childhood illnesses like all the measles, mumps, rubella, all in your body, like all those viruses that are dormant flare up. And my mom has that part too. They call it something like Epstein-Barr or Julian-Barr or something like that. All I know is if I take my antiviral and I take my neuropathy medicine, I'm fine. Pretty much normal other than fatigue. Look at that. The 88 won this. Todd Parrott, one of the best.
Safe race and one heck of a race car driver, and I'd like to say hello to Debbie and Tyler back home. Love you guys. This is great.
And the party's at DJ's Diner. It opens at 6
DJ's
a.m. Monday
Diner.
morning. Don't be late.
But Mark Martin, because of his second place finish, goes into the points lead for the first time since 1990. We're going to stay and get a word with Dale Jarrett before we switch you to Sports Center. What a grueling and tough race this has been, and the 125,000 who gathered here tonight definitely got their
So I'll be uploading this to YouTube shortly thereafter. And as I told you, I will play my little beach, my beach bum here.
Victory Lane here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Almost had a wreck trying to get to Victory Lane as Jeremy Mayfield comes through there.
It's a 14th win for Ford this season. Let's take a look at the unofficial results. The arrows.
They're going to quick off of this real quick, and I also have to find somebody to raid.
And there we see Jimmy Spencer led a lap back in 20s. Jeremy Mayfield.
Dad got to be there in the Busch Series in 96 with Jeff Fuller. Good old Bristol Motor Speedway.
Just a little past the halfway point. The unofficial point standings now we're going to show you.
And when I raid out,
with a
who am I going to raid out?
13-point advantage on Jeff Gordon as we go to Darlington, with Jarrett now 171 behind in third position, and Ricky Rudd does move back into the top 10. Well, Dale Jarrett is still sitting in the car.
He's about to bail out of that thing, though. Yeah, here we go.
Let's go down to our McDonald's Winter Circle interview.
Well, Dale Jarrett climbs out of a car, gets a big hug from wife Kelly. Get in here, Kelly, and gets a big drink of Gatorade. DJ, congratulations, short track win #1.
Yeah, now they won't know what to talk about on the short track, so I've got the victory, so you won't be able to ask that question. But thanks to Todd and all the guys. This was a brand new car we brought here, never been on the racetrack, and they did just an awesome job. Worked on it all night. It wasn't good all the time, but it was pretty good. And I got a little too cautious there at the end almost, but I thought I had Mark inside.
I'm going to raid out
everything was
after
okay.
this
I just
to
wanted to make sure I got back around. I want to thank God for the talents that he's given all of this crew.
One
and
of,
hope that everybody was okay in the big wreck, and just a great night for us.
Where we've gotten so far, DJ, everybody okay out there.
One
you
of,
managed to make a
Pop's
move
guys.
by Mark Martin with oil.
He's really good.
And get the lead back. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was a little bit, it was a little treacherous down there, and I knew Mark was slipping and sliding, and he gave me an opening on the inside, and I knew if I could get there that maybe I could beat him down into turn 3, and that's what I was able to do. And then I got a good jump on the restart, and everything went
Actually,
great.
Jeff Fuller beat Dale Jarrett by inches. Dale was a good guy because he could have spun Jeff. Jeff, on the last 20 laps, had dropped a cylinder, so he was slower. But Jarrett could have stuffed him, but he didn't. He was a good guy.
Over on the deuce, Benny and Dave Despain will be there with all of the action.
Okay, so that's ending. We'll stop that. We will grab this, and I will raid out at the end of this video. This is me at the beach with my Stella. Last week. Not last week. 3 days ago. Monday, Tuesday. Today's Friday, so it was Tuesday. It was 3 days ago. This is me and Stella. And we shall see you later.
Have a good one, guys.
Woo, that was a tough one. Oh, that was fun. You don't want to get in the splashes. You like that. It's too fun, huh? Here comes the big one.
Oh, no!
Here it is.
Oh, no, 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 no!
Here we go.